Welcome to the program. We got some big news that dropped in the early morning hours that I'm going to open with today, and pretty scary stuff. There very well may have been, and it looks likely that there may have been another assassination attempt on our favorite president, Donald Trump. I'm going to go through this story in a moment. I'll just tell you what happened, and then we'll go through the story in the Daily Mail, see if we get some more information. There was the president left Mar-a-Lago, went to D.C. on Air Force One from Palm Beach last night, as he does every Sunday night. A suspicious device was found on the route from Mar-a-Lago to Palm Beach International Airport, where Air Force One is parked. It was found on a Secret Service sweep. The motorcade was rerouted. And when the motorcade was rerouted, it was rerouted at a high rate of speed to go through an area I've never seen them go through before, and that was to zigzag through the city of Palm Beach. And they were driving so fast, and so close together that the press vans nearly had a major collision. They went around a turn. They were so close, they had to slam on the brakes. When the president was taken to the airport last night to fly back home to Washington after this different route at a high speed, zigzagging through back streets through the city, Air Force One had been moved to another part of the airport than it normally is parked, and all the lights were off, which indicates pretty serious precautions taken by the Secret Service. This is the second Air Force One incident at the Palm Beach International Airport that we've had in the last few months. A couple weeks ago, there was a sniper's nest found across the street from the airport where Air Force One is, with a perfect line of sight to Air Force One. The last we heard of that, Kash Patel, the FBI had taken the sniper's nest, sent it to Quantico for analysis, and we never heard about it again. And pretty scary here. Caroline Leavitt, during advanced sweeps of Palm Beach International Airport, a suspicious object was discovered by United States Secret Service. A further investigation was warranted, and the presidential motorcade route was adjusted accordingly. Well, that is a very mild description of what actually is being reported. Let me pull this up. It's pretty scary stuff. Who's behind this? I don't know. Iran, Antifa, who knows? Ukraine, but the route from Mar-a-Lago to Air Force One to Palm Beach International Airport is a straight drive. It's a very short drive. It takes about 5 minutes. It's one road. You leave Mar-a-Lago and boom, you're there. Let me pull this up. This is in the Daily Mail. By the way, all this is on my X at Brian Craig Show. Here's the headline: Trump's motorcade rerouted after suspicious device discovered by Secret Service. President Donald Trump's motorcade had to be rerouted on Sunday. It's last night, after Secret Service agents discovered a suspicious device. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt shared the news as the president made his way to Palm Beach International Airport. During advanced sweeps of Palm Beach International Airport, a suspicious object was discovered by United States Secret Service, said Caroline Leavitt. A further investigation was warranted, and the presidential motorcade route was adjusted accordingly. The motorcade then took an unusual route to the Palm Beach airport, making a circular route around town as police motorcycles raced alongside. A circular, so they went a totally different area. Who knows what type of sweeps they do there, zigzagging. The press vans were so close together that they almost crashed into one another during a slowdown to make a turn, braking hard to avoid a collision. The drivers of the press vans were instructed to keep it tight. Air Force One was then seen on the opposite side of the airport than it is usually located, and the lights outside the plane were off as the motorcade arrived. Excuse me, and thank you for the bless yous in advance. The president boarded Air Force One and headed back to Washington. I've never heard of an instance where Air Force One had the lights off at the airport there. I've never heard of that happening. Do you believe this was another assassination attempt on the president? We've had 2 at the airport. And if you include the sniper's nest from a couple of months ago. And President Trump, he's had more assassination attempts that I can think of off the top of my head than any other president. Butler, the golf course, and remember the golf course is right down the street from the airport, right? I mean, it's literally right down the street from the airport. It's so close. You'd be shocked at how close the airport is to the golf course. So we've got Butler and the golf course, the sniper's nest, this one. It's been a lot. It's been a lot, and there's a couple others. If you remember, there was an incident during the first campaign where a guy went for the stage. There was an incident inside an arena. I believe it was in Vegas during the first campaign where somebody had a weapon and was close to the stage. We are in just a scary place. And, President Trump is doing a major reset across the world. He's putting the world back in its proper balance because America's been a little absent as of late. And what happens when you put things in balance, you freak people out a lot. And what exactly led to this, we don't know. We don't know what the device was yet. Hopefully we will. But, I have one video of President Trump's motorcade in Palm Beach going from the airport to Mar-a-Lago in this second term, and I saw it driving at full speed, which it never does. So they were driving through, Air Force One was driving at full speed in an alternate route, zigzagging close with the motorcade. The motorcade is long. I mean, it's like a mile long, when it's driving normally. So for them to do bumper to bumper with the motorcade, as was reported in the Daily Mail article, it really truly shows you the danger. High speed, long motorcade, and close together. This is what's happening. I'd certainly like to hear your thoughts on this. The number is toll free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are tuned in. I've got a lot to cover today. The president spoke very specifically about Renee Good in Minneapolis with the ICE incident. We're going to get into that. A lot on Greenland, some new stuff on Iran, Cuba, and Venezuela, and a whole bunch more we're going to cover on the program today. But this just broke in the overnight hours, and we're waiting for more developments. Hopefully, I'm hoping Caroline Leavitt has a press conference today and someone asks about it. I would imagine it's on the press's mind since they were nearly in a collision over this. But if you'd like to call in, the number is toll free and is pinned in the live chat. We're dealing with these liberals. If you haven't noticed, they've been very violent lately. And President Trump is doing a lot of things that they don't like putting America back in its proper role as leader. Now, in Iran, the government of Iran is on the verge of collapse, right? I mean, this uprising in Iran's amazing. However, at the last reports that I had seen, the Iranians had killed almost 600 protesters. Just murdered them in the streets. And the president's been threatening military action if they did something, and it looks like something's coming up. Here's the president on Air Force One last night.
Are you going to send Starlink Starlink to Iran, sir, to help the people in the ground with the internet blackout for more than 72 hours?
We're going to be talking about that. We may get the internet going, if that's possible.
Are you talking to Musk
We
about
may
it?
speak to Elon, because as you know, he's very good at that kind of thing. He's got a very good company, so we may speak to Elon Musk. And in fact, I'm going to call him as soon as I'm finished with you.
Yeah. You know, a lot of talk about Elon Musk and Trump. We got the band back together. See, I subscribe to the idea, and I think a lot of you agree with this, that President Trump and Elon Musk never had a falling out. That was an act, because the leftists were firebombing Tesla dealerships. You remember everything that was going on, and they came up with this falling out to get, you know, these protesters from committing violent acts against the Tesla dealerships. And if you notice, the Tesla protest and the violence against the Tesla locations stopped instantly with that. So I don't think they ever had a falling out. I think that was just to save people's lives is what that was. And here's Elon. The press gave Trump an idea. He called Elon, and I'm sure Elon's going to do it, is to give Starlink internet access to the protesters in Iran. I've used Starlink because it's the internet we have on our MAGA cruises. And Starlink is very, very good. I mean, I remember the cruise ship internet before Starlink was okay, but Starlink is pretty fast. I've thought about getting it for my house just as backup for hurricanes, you know, during hurricane season. It works very well. And we've been seeing incredible video out of Iran, but the government of Iran shuts down the internet. So if Elon gives them internet through Starlink and the messages start getting out of Iran, that's going to turn everything in the favor of the liberation of Iran. I mean, think about it. President Trump just liberated Venezuela. Cuba's on the verge of collapse to be liberated from communism. We in this country have been liberated from the tyranny of the political establishment, right? And now here we are looking at Iran being liberated from the Islamic leaders, all under Trump's watch, but they don't want to give him any credit for this. What's going on in Iran is not being covered properly in the media, because to cover it properly is to give President Trump credit for something, and they just can't allow that to happen, because they are sick and twisted people on the left, and that's the way it is. I mean, you know, I remember when Iran took our embassies in 1979. I was in the 3rd grade, and it was god awful. It was very scary. And Iran has been nothing but trouble ever since 1979, funding and backing most of the Islamic terrorism around the world. And, you know, President Trump has not taken Make America Great Again to a whole new level to make the world great again. And that's what he's doing. Here's the president talking about Greenland.
They can offer you for a deal?
If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will. And I'm not letting that happen. If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will take Greenland. And I am not going to let that happen.
Is there any deal they can offer you? Either like
Yeah, sure. I'd love to make a deal with them. It's easier. But one way or the other, we're going to have Greenland.
Are you okay if that compromises NATO? If NATO effectively ceases to exist?
I've done a great job. I'm the one that saved NATO. I'm the one that got them to pay 5% of GDP. Wait a minute. It was 2%, and they didn't pay. Now they're paying 5%. I'm the one that saved NATO. You wouldn't have NATO if I weren't president.
Would you pull the U.S. out of NATO? Would you consider doing that?
Well, maybe NATO would be upset if I did it. Maybe NATO would save a lot of money. But I like NATO. You know, I just wonder whether or not if we needed NATO, would they be there for us? I'm not sure they would. You know, we spent a lot of money on NATO, and I'm not sure they would.
But what would you say?
Now, what's happened is, as you know, Sleepy Joe Biden gave $350 billion to Ukraine and got nothing for it. I got rare earth back. I got, I think, value back far greater than that. And that's what he should have done. Now, if you look at what's going on with respect to NATO, we have a very good relationship. 5% GDP, and they pay us. We send them military equipment, and they pay us back the full cost of the equipment. The war is, we make money with the war, but...
Okay. Now, you know, so far as Greenland, and NATO, and they're acting all tough and everything. One thing I learned about Greenland over the weekend, because I think that when it comes to Greenland, we know about it. All of us, we know where it is. We know very little about it, but we know about it. It's just nothing that's really on our radar. It's just a big piece of ice that's there. We never think about it too much. And I found out over the weekend, and I guess this makes sense. I just never thought about it before, and I don't remember learning this in geography in school or college or anything. But Greenland is actually a part of North America, and I kind of always, although I didn't think about it much, I just kind of assumed that Greenland was in that in-between space and wasn't Europe, it wasn't North America, and it was just part of the North Pole kind of region. And I never realized it was part of North America. But Greenland is, in fact, North America. And the Monroe Doctrine, which has been U.S. policy for over 200 years, and President Trump invoked the Monroe Doctrine to remove Maduro, right? The Monroe Doctrine states that no foreign colonies are allowed in the Western Hemisphere. And Greenland, being a part of North America, that's part of the Western Hemisphere. So according to over 200 years, about 202, I think the Monroe Doctrine was 1823. I might be off by a year or so. But for 200 years plus, the Monroe Doctrine has said no foreign colonies in the Western Hemisphere. And if Greenland is part of North America, which it is, that makes it the Western Hemisphere. And according to U.S. policy, Denmark has no claim on Greenland based on the Monroe Doctrine. I guess it's just something that has gotten overlooked over the years. But things are changing now because we've got the great Donald Trump in charge of everything. And just based on the Monroe Doctrine, President Trump has the authority to take it if he so desires. And I think he's already decided to take it, to annex it. I don't think they'll make it a state. I'd like it to be a territory. As Venezuela, I'd like Venezuela to be a U.S. territory as well. But Greenland could have a great situation. That first off, they're all going to be rich. There's only about 50,000 people in Greenland, and that includes the children. They're all going to get rich off all the mineral wealth and the tourism that's going to pour into Greenland when they become a U.S. protected territory like Puerto Rico or Guam. Not going to make it a state because that messes up the balance in Congress. Even though there's only 50,000 people in Greenland right now, they'd get one House member and they'd get 2 senators. So that's not going to happen. That's why Puerto Rico isn't made a state. They'll get 2 senators, and I don't know how many House members they'll get because I don't know the population. There's only, in the House, there's only 435 members no matter what. So if Greenland gets a House seat and Puerto Rico were to get however many, 4, 5, 3, whatever it was, that means some people got to lose House seats. Plus they each get 2 senators automatically. So it throws out the balance. But regardless of that, according to the Monroe Doctrine, it is clear that Denmark has no legal claim on Greenland. That's it. They're going to have to give it up. And President Trump makes a very good case for annexing Greenland and making it part of the United States. And I know these reporters have all these questions. Oh, well, we already have a military agreement. Why not just send people in and our military, like blah, blah, blah. It's still Denmark territory. China's not afraid of Denmark. Russia's not afraid of Denmark. The moment that Greenland becomes U.S. territory, U.S. waters, U.S. soil, or U.S. ice, that's it. That's it. They're not going to. Russia and China aren't going to set foot in American waters or set foot. Oh, they can't set foot on the water, but they're not going to have their ships in U.S. waters off Greenland, and they're not going to set foot on American snow or soil in Greenland. That's why it's important to make it part of the United States for the security reasons. Having the military there doesn't do the job, and it just causes a military confrontation. If it's U.S. soil, there's much less chance of any military confrontation, and less military would be needed. All right, I'd like to hear your thoughts on all these things, including this suspicious device found on the president's route last night. The number is pinned in the live chat. This is the early pre-show. The radio show starts in about 15 or 20 minutes. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good.
Hold on, Richie. Hold on, Richie. I got to connect the phones. I got so much going on this morning. Hold on. Bear with me.
Okay.
Oh boy. Yeah. So it's early in the morning, and I'm not highly caffeinated. All right, Richie. I got you connected. So there's a lot happening today.
Oh, you're not kidding. But I want to bring up something real quick. They're in Venezuela right now. They're hunting Americans, and they're also going after the people that cooperated with us. That one general is breaking away from the president. So President Trump has got to do something immediately. I mean, they've already warned Americans, get out as fast as you can. It's really bad over there right now.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, do you realize how he got in there? They're talking about some kind of a weapon that nobody knew about. And I know President Trump made a statement a couple of months ago that we're so strong, we have things nobody knows about. I understand that they went in there and that they, with some kind of like Star Wars, they hit them with some kind of a beam that they collapsed. They were defecating in their pants. They were bleeding out of their noses.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't move.
Yeah.
This is like Star Wars stuff, man. I can't believe it.
I know Peter Ducey did this story. He thinks it might be this heat weapon that he covered like 10 or 12 years ago on Fox. And, we knew there was some type of new weapons. They had some weapon that knocked out the electricity just where they wanted it knocked out. It wasn't your regular EMP that knocks out all the electronics. And now this heat weapon, it's pretty amazing. And that's probably why we haven't seen the camera footage from the Marines or the SEAL team, because they use these secret weapons.
Exactly right, and they're saying that's why the Colombian president. The word down there is that the United States has this crazy weapon, and we can't mess around. So that's why you're seeing Colombia now wanting to go to the White House. They're all changing their tune, except that this crazy general down there who has
this general in Venezuela. First off, these people are crazy. They've lived in this general. Here's the thing I've learned with thugs. No matter how rich they are or their fancy clothes or uniforms, they're all like ignorant street thugs, okay? It's not like in the movies where they're like Oxford and Harvard educated and they just decided to go a non-traditional form of business and became cartel people. It's not like Andy Garcia and Landman, okay? I mean, they're low-life street criminal types just at the upper level. And plus, they're in this bubble where they think they're tougher than they are. But, the cartels could have this general's whole family held hostage somewhere, making him saber rattle too, Who knows? But who's going to win that?
You bring up thugs. I want to bring up our domestic thugs, okay? Do you know Nick Sauter and Cam Higbee?
Mm-hmm.
They're right-wing. They're YouTube reporters for people that don't know.
And
they were attacked last night by that mob in front of ICE.
Yeah.
And they almost lost their lives. It's on X. I mean, it's really to the point where these
what they need to do. I'll tell you, Richie. Nick Sauter was almost killed, to say the least. Right? I mean, these are very dangerous people.
Yeah.
And I know this probably isn't the route he would want to go, but what he really should do is go in disguise and not let people know who he is, and just get the raw footage and cover it. Instead of making himself known who he is and what he's doing. It's what he is doing. Let me tell you what Nick Sauter is doing. Like in World War II, we had these war correspondents that covered the war in Europe.
Yeah.
Like Ernie Pyle. Anybody remember Ernie Pyle? You may know who Ernie Pyle was.
No.
You don't? Oh, look him up.
I'm old, but
oh no, he's your generation. You should look him up. Well, it would be like he's like our war correspondents were embedded with our guys. what Nick Sorter's doing in Minneapolis, it's like, or when he's in Portland, it's like having a war correspondent in the Second World War embedded with the Japanese or the Nazis, right? He's embedded with the enemy forces, and the level of risk that Nick Sorter and Shirley are taking is one that is very underappreciated. How risky things are for them, very dangerous.
Yeah, but I see what's going on there, and they're attacking the ICE agents. They got, I'm not for nothing, but I believe that they have to take a stronger stand, because these people, it's not just this, Brian. They're at every demonstration, and they're causing chaos in the physical. I remember that Andy No, whatever his name is, he got attacked out in Portland. These people are vicious, man. They're street thugs, and we're letting them get away with it. I mean, not for nothing. We are letting them get away with it.
I would bet you. Now, this is just my educated opinion following this. If you listen to J.D. Vance, I forgot his name, the super cool guy that heads the Border Patrol, and a few others, they're working hard to identify the leaders, and I bet you that they're being allowed to run amok. And we are embedding undercover people inside these protests so they can find out who the leaders are. Remember what JD said? We want to find out who's paying for the bricks. Doing, what's happening now, it's like after 9/11, the FBI started infiltrating undercover mosques, around the country. That's what's going on here. We're embedding undercover agents inside the trans Tifa, Antifa, all the ICE princesses people and everything else. I'm telling you, that's exactly what's happening.
Yes. Well, because they showed one guy, I saw one guy, he was at like 5 different protests all over the country. They're being paid to fly. They're they're traveling terrorists, domestic terrorists.
And these bums aren't paying for the tickets themselves.
Not at all. Not at all. And they look pretty well fed, and they're vicious. And they're crazy. It's like, it reminds me of the Night of the Living Dead. They're walking the streets and they're attacking. And for nothing, these reporters, they don't even talk. They just actually videotape what's going on.
Yeah.
They don't even say it. They don't give commentary. And so they're being exposed. So
did you hear me talking about this suspicious device the Secret Service found on the route to the president? Looks like we may have had another assassination attempt on the president.
Yeah, well, you say who could be doing this? I think the whole left.
The left.
They've exposed themselves. The Democratic Party. Let's just face it. Not Democratic. Democrat Party. They are behind this whole thing.
Ray would be proud.
They've been exposed with this fraud. Ilhan Omar got up on a Saturday after she got turned away, and she antagonized the violence. She's got to go. Why are they waiting on her? I mean, it's to the point where I'm getting very frustrated. I mean, what does Pam Bondi need? Marrying a brother and all this,
exactly,
and causing all this, and attacking the president of the United States on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. What are we going to do? We're going to let her keep her mouth going like this?
Exactly. All right, Richie, I'm going to move on, but we'll talk again. Take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
They will never, ever stop, not even when he's out of office, to try and get President Trump. They won't stop, And that's the thing. We got to be very vigilant with these attempts on his life,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. I agree 100%, Mike. Thanks for the call. Yeah, I mean, this is most definitely a very odd thing that happened. I'm going to, after the top of the hour, when the radio show starts, I'm going to recap the story that it looks like we had another assassination attempt on President Trump, again in Florida. This will be the third one in Florida. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey there. My name is Anthony. Oh, sorry, your video's playing in the background. Sorry.
Yeah. There's a delay, so Anthony? Just turn down the volume if you're.
Okay, got it. So my name is Anthony. I'm calling from Texas, Houston, Texas.
Yep.
But I just recently moved here from San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the program. What's on your mind?
Appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm not someone who really identifies as Democrat or Republican. I think depending on the quality of the candidate, I'll vote either way, right?
Yeah.
Independent. And, you know, right now we're not having an election or anything, but there's things going on in the country that are kind of swinging my, you know, political affiliation in one direction right now.
And what direction is
And
that?
it's mostly, oh, sorry?
What direction would that be?
I think I'm starting to swing a little bit Democrat just because, and I don't see these things as Democrat, Republican.
What things?
I'm seeing
what are the specific things that have you swinging Democrat?
Yeah, so before I tell you, I'll give you the context. So basically, I came from two parents that were illegal immigrants. I'm what you would call an anchor baby,
Okay.
Raised in Los Angeles, born in America. And, you know, despite being born in a poor area, surrounded by other illegals and stuff like that, I've done pretty well for myself, and
Good.
I'm making like six-figure jobs.
But you're
in
legal.
finance.
You got your documents. You're legal.
No, I was born here.
Okay. What about your parents? What's their status?
They got their documents. So,
Okay, so
my
you
dad just
got a
became a
legal
citizen
family.
a few months ago.
Well, congratulations. He's a U.S. citizen now. That's good.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Awesome.
This is the best country in the world.
Absolutely.
So,
Good to hear you say that.
basically, a lot of my friends and just people that I grew up living with are still illegal, right? And, you know, because I was born and raised in the same buildings that they were and went to the same places, I know that they're not, like, harmful to society. They're just, you know, they're working jobs. They're working jobs.
Lincoln Riley and her family would disagree. Or that family on the turnpike that was killed by that semi-truck driver who was an illegal, you know. While you and your friends may not be raping, murdering, or killing people, a lot of the illegals are.
There's no denying that. There's no denying that. But I guess with what's going on now, I'm hearing from my parents calling me from LA, telling me how, oh, they took Juan. And I'm like, you mean the fruit seller that's been selling fruit for 40 years? Oh, yeah, and they took this person. And I'm like, oh, you mean the guy that's just selling ice cream around the corner? And everyone's afraid to go out. And
well,
and
your parents aren't afraid to go out because they're legal.
They're still afraid to go out, actually.
Well, what do they have to be afraid of?
Because they're reading all over the news that they're taking U.S. citizens. That they don't
Well, that's
give a
not.
fuck
That's
if you're-
they're lies. They're
Well,
not taking.
They're reading those lies, right?
Well, they're
they're
not taking U.S. citizens. That's the thing. Hold on one second. I gotta put all these callers on hold. Hold on. Yeah, they're not. Are you back with me?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, they're not taking U.S. citizens. That's a 100% lie of the fake news media.
Well, I guess like I agree with you that I don't truly believe that they're taking citizens. Maybe they've taken a couple and it's a mistake. You know, let's release them back, type of thing, right? Mistakes can happen. Nothing is perfect. But basically, my question is like, how would you reconcile if you were me, if your parents are telling you that they're deporting all these people that in your eyes you would deem innocent, people you grew up with that are, you know, normal, hardworking people, and even your own parents are afraid to go out just because of the hostility.
Well, your parents
from both sides. Like,
your parents' fear is irrational. Okay, that's number one because you know anybody can be stopped by the police and be be a mistake. I mean, you know, I've been pulled over, you know, over the years, and you know, sometimes I've gotten a ticket, sometimes I haven't. But here's the problem, you know, with all due respect to the ice cream man and the fruit stand man, there's a process to, you know, you said your parents were illegal, and somehow they somehow found the process to become U.S. citizens. So, you know, why isn't the ice cream man and the fruit stand man doing what your parents did? These are people that have gotten themselves into this position. But the ice cream man and your fruit stand guy, those are not the average person that's getting deported around the country. But even so, why didn't they go through the proper channels like your parents did and get legal status?
Yeah, well, a lot of them are like, they don't know English, they're uneducated, they don't have resources to go anywhere. They're just
Well,
you
how'd
know,
your parents figure it out?
Well, my parents are not like my dad was part of the Mexican Navy, part of the Mexican Army, very decorated like Mexican soldier. My mom.
Okay, so your father
in
was
Guatemala.
your father was educated person.
Yeah, and so was my mom. She
Yeah.
she was actually a police officer in Guatemala.
Well, see, cool. See, that's one of the reasons, to get to all countries have rules and regulations on who they let in. And your parents
Sure.
are educated, law-abiding people. Those are the kind of people you want to let in. People that are uneducated or don't have skills and things like that, you don't want to necessarily let in. Not everybody should be able to come to the United States. Your parents
I
are
agree with
higher
you.
level, the type of immigrant we want.
I fully agree with you. But what I also struggled to come to terms with is like people who have been here like 30 or 40 years that have managed to integrate into their own little like nook in society here in America. Because, we got all sorts of diversity. I feel so bad for them because it's like this is basically their home now. They've probably been in this country longer than they've been in Mexico or wherever they came from,
Well,
And
but if every once in a while, you'll hear a story of someone, you don't hear these stories, they're not too common, but I've seen them happen over the years, where someone has been captured who's been a wanted fugitive, an American, and they have a whole life somewhere for 20 years, even longer, and they have a family and a spouse and kids, and they've been living under an assumed name, and then they find out who they are because somebody in their family got a DNA test, or there was a guy recently here in Florida who had been on the lam for over 20 years and decided he was going to go on vacation on a cruise, and he got flagged by Homeland at the cruise terminal, and he's been on the lam for over 20 years. Just because somebody has been able to hide from authorities for 20 or 30 years doesn't mean that they get a free pass. And some of these people are good people. I'm not saying they're bad people, but I couldn't go to Mexico and just start working down there tomorrow if I wanted. There's a process, right?
yeah, there is.
There you go. By the way, are you new to the program?
Yeah, I just stumbled upon it right now. I
Oh.
woke up in the middle of the night.
Well, make sure you subscribe. You're a very good caller, and you should call me again someday. You got a lot to contribute.
Well, I appreciate you.
Well, thank you. All right, take care. Yeah. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. If you're on hold, stand by. We're a little more than a minute away from the radio show starting, so I don't want to take any calls until after the radio show starts. I do want to remind you all, though, that the early show, the pre-radio show, it's brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Please go to MyPillow.com. Do your Valentine's Day shopping. With my promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you can see there's just massive sales going on. And you can use my promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, on all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones that you hear me talking about. And I have the towels, the slippers, the sheets, the pillows, the energy drink. I've had the energy drink. It is spectacular. The mattress topper. I've got so many of these things. The MyPillow mattress, the MyPillow pet bed. Steve Kane has the body pillow. That's spectacular. These are all great products. Promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. And remember, when you do that, you're supporting the program. All right, now we're going to be live in about 15 seconds, so stand by. Welcome to the program, everyone. It is Monday morning already, January 12th. We got a lot of news. Callers on hold. You stand by. A lot has happened. And this is a pretty scary thing happened in Palm Beach last night. The president returned home to D.C. from Mar-a-Lago, and it is being reported by multiple news sources and Caroline Leavitt that there very well may have been possibly another assassination attempt on President Trump here in Palm Beach. Caroline Leavitt released this statement During advanced sweeps of Palm Beach International Airport, a suspicious object was discovered by the United States Secret Service. A further investigation was warranted, and the presidential motorcade route was adjusted accordingly. This is from Caroline Levitt. And I have some more information courtesy of the Daily Mail. And remember, this is the second Secret Service involved issue with presidential security at the airport in the last couple months. A couple months ago, if you recall, they found a sniper's nest right across the street from Palm Beach International Airport with a direct line of sight to Air Force One. The airport assassin at the golf course assassin, the Trump golf course in Palm Beach is right down the street from the airport where Air Force One is parked. So here's what happened. The Secret Service that's always sweeping these areas, and those of you that are in South Florida know the route. The route from Mar-a-Lago to Palm Beach International Airport, where Air Force One is parked, is a quick drive, 5 minutes. The president doesn't have to stop for lights, so it's a straight drive, about 5 minutes for the president. And there's no turning. It's one road. You leave Mar-a-Lago, you're on Southern Boulevard. Although it's been renamed to Donald John Trump Boulevard, they have not changed the signs. The signs still say Southern Boulevard. But you pull out of Mar-a-Lago, you're on Southern Boulevard, and boom, you're at the airport in 5 minutes. This Secret Service sweep found a suspicious device on the route. We don't know any details about the device yet. They found a suspicious device. They rerouted the entire presidential motorcade. The motorcade was reportedly driving at a high rate of speed for security purposes, zigzagging through, well, that's West Palm Beach. It said through the city. So they changed the route and were zigzagging through the city of West Palm Beach, the entire presidential motorcade, at a high rate of speed and close together. Zigzagging, because those streets turn and twist and everything else. It's not one straight road like Southern Boulevard from Mar-a-Lago to the airport. They were driving so fast, so close together, when they were going around a turn, the press vans almost collided with one another with rear-end collisions. They had to slam on the brakes. When the president arrived with the motorcade at the airport, they had moved Air Force One to another part of the airport than it normally is parked on, and all the lights were off, which is very unusual. I don't know of an instance where the lights were off on Air Force One at Palm Beach. I've never seen that. If it's happened before, I missed it. Lights off on Air Force One, that's what they do when they're landing, like, in Baghdad. When the president goes and visits Baghdad, they turn the lights off. But here in the United States, never seen it before. So this very well may be the second assassination attempt that we know of on the airport route, if you include the sniper's nest. And the sniper's nest was in a tree right across the street from the airport, direct line of sight to Air Force One. The FBI took down the sniper's nest, took it to Quantico, and we never heard anything else about it after that. That kind of changed. Now, this story, I'm hoping that we're going to get more information from the press, since, the press love more than anything stories about themselves. And since the press vans were almost in a major traffic accident along the route because of the change and the speed and the danger, they may ask questions and report about it since it involves them. But President Trump has had more assassination attempts than any president I remember. Butler, the golf course, the sniper's nest, this one. During the first campaign, somebody got on a stage, remember? Remember they rushed the stage where he was speaking at an airport somewhere? He did an event in Las Vegas where there was a guy that was armed and was near the stage where the president was going to appear. The golf course assassin, that guy's in prison. That's down the street from the airport. So, I just without even doing any research, just off of my recollection, that's 5 assassination attempts on President Trump. What the heck? If anyone has any more information that you've seen leak out on this suspicious device found on the motorcade route to the airport last night, you're welcome to let me know, but there's not too. That's all we have now that's confirmed. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. Our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening. If you're new to the program, welcome. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. It's pretty scary. There's a lot of developments that I'm going to get into after the first break, and including the president has weighed in on the ICE shooting in Minneapolis. There's some major updates with Cuba, Greenland, Venezuela, and Iran as well involving the president. So we're going to cover all of that and a whole bunch more and take your calls. All right, I'll take one or two calls before the break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Doc from Texas.
Hey, Texas.
Hey, Brian. How you this morning, man?
I'm all right. I'm concerned about the president, but other than that, I'm okay.
What's wrong with? Why are you concerned? What's wrong with him?
There may have been another assassination attempt last night. I was just talking about it. You must have not been tuned in.
Okay.
You sound very.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound all broken up.
I saw it on CNN. I didn't think it was an assassination attempt, but it's all good. It's all good.
What would you call? What do you mean? What would you call a suspicious device found by the Secret Service? They reroute the motorcade at a high rate of speed, zigzagging through the city of West Palm Beach. Have the lights off on Air Force One. They're driving so fast and zigzagging that the press vans almost collided with one another in a car accident. What do you call that?
Being cautious for the president. Make sure he's okay. It's not an assassination attempt. What was the package?
This is a breaking and developing story. We don't know all the details
What
yet.
was the package?
Look at these. They haven't said yet. They're investigating.
Okay, well, wait till they come out with the package. Maybe
wait till they. Yeah, let's talk about the news when it's old. Yeah, we talk about new news. See what these liberals do? See what this guy's doing?
Okay.
Hold on. I'm talking to the audience, not you, for a second. You stand by. You see what this guy's doing? As we have this detail, and he's already gaslighting it, trying to gaslight. All right, what'd you call about today?
I'm calling about Kristi Noem yesterday.
The great Kristi Noem.
Watch. Please. Poor baby, after all is over with, her career is ruined. Poor baby, her career is going to be ruined after this. Matter of fact, it's ruined now. Because I don't even know what to say about her anymore.
You mean the Democrats aren't going to vote for Kristi Noem in the future? Oh, wow, shocker.
Yeah, y'all not going. Only MAGA going to vote for it because y'all vote for it.
Well, we're the majority of the voters. We're the majority of the voters, if you haven't noticed.
Okay, you know what, Brian? I think you may not agree with me on this. I know you're not. There's some MAGA people right now, man, he's not going to vote for Trump next. No, that doesn't even want, because he can't run again.
Yeah, really,
who? They're not even vote for J.D. Vance.
Who? Who's that?
Huh?
Who's that?
J.D. They're not even going to vote for J.D.
No,
Vance.
who are these MAGA people? What MAGA people do you know? Other than me,
I don't know.
When you call me, what MAGA people do you know?
People.
And they're telling
I work with a lot of them.
your MAGA friends. Your MAGA friends are telling you they're not going to vote for Trump or J.D. Vance. Give me a break.
They're not telling me not. They're not going to tell me that. But see, the difference between me and you, I have MAGA friends, and we can have a conversation every day, talk about anything else. I can go to their house and have supper with them.
Oh, when's the last time you had supper with one of your MAGA friends?
Because I don't go to their houses, right?
Oh, but you could.
But
you don't, but you could. Okay. Oh my goodness.
We go to parties. We go to all the time, Brian.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my goodness.
You ever heard of Mardi Gras?
Yes.
Well, Mardi Gras is big around here.
In Texas?
And it starts already.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you have some friends that are drinkers. Okay.
What I'm saying is Mardi Gras time.
When you picked up the phone and called me, you must have had something.
That's what I'm saying, Brian.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Kristi Noem has destroyed her career.
By doing what?
Her career.
How's that?
Because she don't even know how to say. She's saying things. It's like we got eyes. We can see what happened, Brian. And she's saying she's not even doing an investigation.
What are you
Brian.
talking about?
She's not even. You know what I'm talking about in Minnesota. Don't.
Oh,
do
you're
that.
talking about the ICE-involved shooting? Haven't you seen the cell phone video from the ICE officer?
Brian.
You can
Right.
hear him get hit by the car
Why?
before he fired it around.
He didn't get hit. You know, you didn't see him get hit. All you see him moving back.
No, there's other video.
you-
There's other videos out where you see him hit.
Brian, he did not get
There's
hit. I'm
there is
sorry.
a
We can-
video
like I said,
taken.
we can go back and forth.
There's a video
We
from
can
a
go back and forth,
well. There's
Harvey.
a video from a bystander. You can see him get hit where his body lunges forward over the hood.
No, he didn't, Brian. Come on, man.
All right. Hey, listen.
Come
I got to run, Gaslighter. We'll be right back. Unreal. If you're on hold, stand by. We got a lot to cover on the program today. There's no doubt about that. Oh, my goodness. He's just totally gaslighting. On the line, we have Lewis. He had some issues with some taxes in past years, and he called Jamie LeeZep over at Swift Tax, and Jamie took good care of him. Lewis, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. So tell me how Jamie from Swift Tax helped you on your taxes.
I was having trouble with another company. I called Jamie, and the next day I brought my wife in there with all the paperwork, and he straightened all my back taxes out, and I'm actually getting money back now.
Wow, this is pretty amazing. So this other company you went to told you owed the government money, and Jamie over at Swift Tax took a look and found out that not only did you not owe money, you're getting money back from the government?
Yes, I got nice big checks coming soon.
Do what Lewis did. Call Jamie LeeZep over at Swift Tax. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. Planning a trip with friends shouldn't feel like a full-time job, but somehow great ideas get buried in group chats, decisions drag on forever, and budgets turn into last-minute spreadsheet nightmares. That's why there's Trip Exchange. Trip Exchange is completely free. It brings all your trip planning together in one simple place with no paywalls. And you can collect and organize ideas, vote, and decide together. Plan and track budgets automatically and instantly see who owes whom without spreadsheets. With Trip Exchange, there's no more missed ideas, no more confusion, no more awkward money talk either. Just clear planning, fair cost sharing, and stress-free trips from start to finish. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a group vacation, or a shared event, Trip Exchange keeps everyone on the same page. Plan smarter, travel better. Visit trip-exchange.com. That's trip-exchange. Trip-exchange.com. And start planning today. Trip-exchange.com.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Roofing. Happy New Year, health, wealth, and happiness, and may 2026 be your best year. The first quarter of each year is the slowest for roofing contractors across Florida due to the lack of rain, vacationers, and recuperating from the holiday spend. We have secured 2024 pricing on certain roofing materials with our suppliers for the first quarter only. So if you are planning on a new roof in 2026, take advantage of our first quarter low pricing now. These savings are significant, especially for multiple building HOA and condo associations. This covers shingles, tiles, and flat roof systems, so give me a call on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602 or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
All right, we're still in radio break. But did you hear what I mean with the last caller, the liberal? He just totally gaslighting. Don't believe your lying eyes. She didn't hit him. And there's multiple videos showing it. And here's the cell phone video of the ICE officer.
Change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later.
Yeah, I mean, you watch the video and you can see what happened. All right, we'll be back shortly, so stand by. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. So there very well may have been another assassination attempt on the president in Palm Beach. We talked about that. But, you know, you heard what that liberal caller that I was just talking to from Texas. Total gaslighting, right? About the videos. We've all seen the videos from Minneapolis, trivializing this device found on the way to the airport for and that caused this incident with the presidential motorcade. You know, what liberals, the way liberals are, if there's something out there they don't want to be true, they just ignore it and don't want to hear it. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. So the president liberated Venezuela. Well, first off, he liberated the United States from the tyranny of the deep state and these tyrants with the Autopin administration and others. But he liberated Venezuela. He's about to liberate Greenland, but Iran, of course, which is on the verge of being liberated. But so is Cuba. Cuba is on the verge of being liberated from the communists down here. This is the president on Air Force One last night on the way back to Washington talking about Cuba.
What kind of deal are you looking for from Cuba?
You're going to find out pretty soon. We're talking to Cuba, and you'll find out pretty soon. And one of the things I want taken care of, and one of the groups I want taken care of, are the people that came from Cuba that were forced out or left under duress, and they're great citizens of the United States right now.
All right.
You have a lot of people forced out of Cuba unfairly, so we're going to take care of, most importantly right now, we're going to take care of the people that came from Cuba that are American citizens or in our country.
Okay. So Cuba, they are, not only are they not getting oil from Venezuela, their oil supply was dramatically reduced over the past few weeks before we liberated Venezuela because we were stopping the ships, and they're on the verge of collapse. They don't have oil reserves. They're on the verge of collapse, and the president says they're talking to Cuba. You know, Cuba, one thing that Cuba does not have, other than freedom and such, is credit. Cuba, you know, Fidel Castro ripped so many people off that Cuba has to do everything with cash, and they don't have a lot of money. So getting that free oil from Venezuela was keeping their country going. And President Trump, I don't know if he's going to offer to sell Cuba oil or not. They don't have the money to buy it, and they would have to pay in advance if he does it. But when he says there's an announcement from Cuba, you know, Florida here is a very, very solid red state. The president lives here, of course. And a big component of that is the Cuban people, and his Secretary of State is Marco Rubio. And there's no way that Cuban-American Secretary of State, Florida's own Marco Rubio, is going to be involved in any negotiation with the Cuban government that leads to anything other than the communists leaving power and Cuba being freed. And I'll tell you, this Secretary of State we have, Marco Rubio, is going to go down as quite possibly the greatest Secretary of State we have ever had. There were things happening that I never thought. I remember when I was in third grade in 1979 when they took our hostages in Iran at the U.S. Embassy due to Jimmy Carter's stupidity. And Iran has been nothing but trouble ever since. Nothing but trouble ever since. They've been backing and funding most of the Islamic terrorism around the world since then. They're just nothing but trouble. And they're on the verge of collapse right now. That's why the president's getting Elon to give them the Starlink internet. This is, you know, I want you to think about it. When they get Starlink internet through Elon Musk, they're going to be able to see that we're with them. These people are taking great risks. They're going to be able to, well, I guess they could listen and watch me online, but they'll be able to get Fox News and Newsmax in Iran, and they'll see that the president of the United States and the people of the United States are behind the Iranian people and their liberation from the Islamic regime. This is, and they'll be able to communicate and organize once they have internet. The Iranians, as the last story I saw, it was being reported that the Iranian regime had murdered almost 600 Iranian protesters. And without them having internet, they don't realize how much support they have around the world, including the support of the president of the United States. They'll be able to see his post on True Social. And the president is talking very openly about going in and making military strikes in Iran, because he told Iran, if you start killing the protesters, we're coming after you. And it looks like that's what's about to happen. Here's the president, another clip on Air Force One. I love these Air Force One press conferences, don't you? They're always good. Here he is talking about a bunch of these things.
If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will. And I'm not letting that happen. If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will take Greenland. And I am not going to let that happen.
Is there any deal they can offer you? Either like
Yeah, sure. I'd love to make a deal with them. It's easier. But one way or the other, we're going to have Greenland.
Okay, see, President Trump is taking Greenland. It is decided. And I learned something over the weekend that never occurred to me before. You know, Greenland is not, before last year, none of us in the United States ever really thought too much about Greenland until President Trump started talking about making it part of the United States. And what I learned over the weekend is that Greenland is part of North America. It is. Yeah, that's amazing. It's part of North America. That means the Western Hemisphere. And all the geography classes I took in school, in high school, in college, I never remember that from geography. Maybe they didn't teach it. I just assumed Greenland was kind of like part of the North Pole Arctic region and was just this big old bunch of ice out there that was not a part of any continent. But Greenland is officially a part of North America. Well, you know what that means? The Monroe Doctrine, which has been U.S. policy for over 200 years, the Monroe Doctrine that President Trump used to show that the removal of Maduro in Venezuela was legal, what the Monroe Doctrine says is that there are no foreign colonies or interference allowed in the Western Hemisphere. So according to over 200 years of U.S. foreign policy, the Monroe Doctrine, which the president has invoked just a week ago, says that no European colonies in the Western Hemisphere. If Greenland is part of North America, which it is, that means the Western Hemisphere. They have no right to Greenland. It's ours. And he's already decided to take it. Now, it's tax season. The whole tax code's changed, courtesy of the big, beautiful bill. Thank you, President Trump. All these tax breaks. Oh, man. You want to call Jamie LeeZep over at Swift Tax. I'm meeting Jamie LeeZep later this morning, myself. You know, he's Steve Kane's accountant now, too. Steve Kane and his wife, Jamie LeeZep, is handling their taxes at Swift Tax. And I know many of you out there. Jamie LeeZep knows the big, beautiful bill inside and out. He knows the whole tax code inside and out. And I've talked to multiple listeners in this audience, including Steve Kane and his wife, where Jamie LeeZep has looked back at past years and found out that they overpaid in past years. And now people are getting refunds on past year taxes. But whatever your situation is, you want to call Jamie LeeZep and handle your taxes. Don't leave it up to some guy that does it a couple months a year at H&R Block or TurboTax. You're spending money you don't have to. Get a refund. Get the biggest refund you're entitled to, okay? This number rings directly to Jamie LeeZep at Swift Tax, 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587 for Jamie LeeZep at Swift Tax. We'll be right back.
What do motorsports and leadership really have in common? More than you think. Author Daniel Leonard shows how the same principles that win races, strategy, precision, focus, and mental strength also drive success in business in his book, The Racing Line of Leadership, Management Meets Motorsport, available on Amazon. The Racing Line of Leadership isn't theory, it's practical, actionable leadership drawn from years of real management experience and the high-pressure world of motorsport. Just like on the racetrack, there's an ideal line in leadership. Miss it and you lose momentum. Find it and everything flows. The author breaks down how attitude, movement, and character shape modern leaders, helping you make faster decisions, stay focused under pressure, and lead with clarity when it matters most. Whether you manage a team, a company, or your own career, the Racing Line of Leadership will help you stay ahead of the curve without losing control. Order your copy right now on Amazon. The Racing Line of Leadership, Management Meets Motorsport, from author Daniel Leonard. Find your line and lead with purpose. Do mealtimes feel more stressful than satisfying in your home? You're not alone. Between busy schedules, picky eaters, and rising grocery costs, eating healthy can't feel impossible. That's why Dennis Heikkinen wrote the family-friendly Healthy Eating Cookbook, available on Amazon. This practical, easy-to-use cookbook is packed with over 100 simple, nutritious, kid-approved recipes designed for real families and real life. Every meal is easy to prepare, budget-friendly, and made to help your whole family enjoy breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even snacks without spending hours in the kitchen. Whether you're a busy parent, a beginner cook, or just trying to build healthier habits at home, the family-friendly Healthy Eating Cookbook gives you the confidence to cook with ease and bring joy back to your life. Order your copy right now on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. The family-friendly Healthy Eating Cookbook on Amazon. Ever wanted to grab a text from a screenshot and send it without having to log into a site or app that's plastered with ads? Free text from image.com keeps it simple. No sign-in, no faff. Drop a pic, copy the words. Try free text from image.com.
All right, we'll be back in about a minute. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to play this clip when we. I'll take some calls when we get back, but President Trump weighed in on the ICE shooting, so we'll be getting into that shortly. Less than a minute, and we'll be back. If you're on hold, stand by. Hold on, guys. We're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. This is Florida's longest running radio show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Adam from New York.
Hey, Adam. What's on your mind?
The animal that was killed the other day in Minneapolis, was that animal wasn't that individual organizer of Antifa?
They were an organizer. If it wasn't Antifa, it's an Antifa-like organization. She was a trainer and organizer for an organization that was training people how to protest the ICE officers. You know, the honking of the horns, the loud noise, the music, disrupting traffic. Yeah.
So that individual was part of a terrorist organization.
Well, that's what Kristi Noem says. Yeah, if you notice from the very first press conference, she was in Texas when it happened. She had a press conference. Kristi Noem has repeatedly said domestic terrorist. So that's
okay.
The official designation from the Trump administration is domestic terrorist. Yes.
See, I don't see why the government has to put up with these protests going on. Why they can't just shut them down?
I think this is what's going on. I could be wrong about this, but I was talking to a caller in the pre-show about this. This is what I think is happening. Obviously, they could shut them down on a dime, right? And they're not. My guess is if you listen to everyone, J.D. Vance and the president and everyone on down the line, they're all talking about who's funding them, who's backing them, who's paying for the bricks, all this stuff. What I believe they're doing is infiltrating these protest movements right now with undercover agents. And these undercover agents are infiltrating to try to find out who the leaders are that are funding this and organizing this, as opposed to just getting the thugs off the street. They want to find out who the big guys are at the top that are writing the checks. That's why they're allowing them to run amok, so they can infiltrate them.
Thanks, Brian.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is James. Just wondering, how do you think the crazy left is dealing with these people that are out here acting like loons and not being able to understand that these people are idiots?
Who specifically are you talking about?
The person that was saying that she ran over, or did not run over somebody, but she ran over the person that was in question of the ICE agent.
Yeah. I know. You know, the thing is, every video we've seen, except the cell phone video from the ICE officer, every video we've seen was taken from one of these liberal lunatics who was filming on their phone and posted to social media. So the source of almost all of the video, except the ICE cell phone video, are the liberal lunatics themselves. And we've seen multiple images where she did hit him. There's one from far away, and his upper torso was bent over the front hood of the car.
Yes, I agree.
It's amazing how accurate he was. Getting hit didn't harm his accuracy.
Yes, I totally agree. I just wanted to chime in on that because I think that you would have a very good point of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, it's called what the left are. It may seem like gaslighting, and for those that don't know, gaslighting is telling you something that you know is to be true because you're seeing it. That's not true. And I know there's two movies called Gaslighting, but they don't really. Yeah. I've seen those movies, and they don't explain it as well as you would think. There's a movie with Walter Matthau. It's an old movie. And Walter Matthau's wife comes home and catches him in bed with another woman. I can't. If anybody knows the name of this movie, let me know. His wife comes home, catches him in bed with another woman. And she freaks out. And he says, "What woman?" "The woman in bed." "There's no woman." And he proceeds to get dressed and act like nothing's happening. You know, and it goes on. "What? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm here by myself. I'm just getting dressed for work." You know, that's gaslighting. Convincing you something that you're seeing is not there. And we've seen video of the ICE incident, and we know she ran him over.
What's even worse is the women of her was saying, "Drive, baby, drive," and she ran into the ICE agent and got shot.
That's right. And the wife afterwards was heard saying, "It's my fault. I made her come. I got her killed." Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if she's open to manslaughter charges because she's the one that gave her the word to escape, try to escape.
Well, and then all of a sudden she put up a GoFundMe, and now all of a sudden all these left loons are getting money to pay her because she's an idiot.
She has a GoFundMe?
Yeah, and she's got 1.5 million.
Really? So she's become a millionaire? Yeah. She's a millionaire now.
Yeah. Yeah, 1.5 million because
you know, I mean obviously I know what a GoFundMe is, but how does that? Did she set it up or did somebody set it up for her? Because what I don't know is how that. So somebody sets up a GoFundMe for you. How do you get the money? Doesn't the person who set it up get the money?
Sure, but I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that she is the beneficiary of the 1.5 million from the left loons because they are idiots because they believe that
that's crazy.
Did nothing wrong.
So, I wonder.
Drive, baby, drive.
I wonder what she thinks about that. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. So it's $1.5 million that the wife has raised in a GoFundMe. She's a millionairess now. Think about that, huh? In just a couple days. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's B. Just calling in from Kentucky.
All right, D in Kentucky. What's on your mind?
Yes, just a few couple things. I was just saying over, we're talking about gaslighting, I think. And I think it's kind of a little bit of gaslighting to say that she ran over that man when we all know that she didn't.
She hit him with the car.
Little Grace isn't running over it, no.
She hit him with the car.
A little Grace.
No.
I think it's hypocritical how you MAGA go ahead and talk about Ashley Babbitt, right? The person who ran through a secure office in Congress and got shot. You all martyr her. But yet a person who's trying to escape and grazes somebody doesn't even, person never falls, officer never falls, officer moves to the side, yet she's the bad person and she deserves to be killed by the government.
Okay, so far as Ashley Babbitt, see, you just haven't seen all the video, okay? Ashley Babbitt, there's extended video seconds before she was murdered by that police officer. She went up to 2 Capitol Police right there in that hallway and tried to get them to stop. She was trying to stop people from moving forward, and then she got shot dead by the coward cop.
So you think the video that shows her trying to break a window, that video has nothing to pertain to her? So
there's no video of her breaking. There's no video of her breaking a window.
There's a video of her trying to break a window.
Nope.
That's how we knew she got shot. That video was the most famous part. So there's no video.
No.
There's no video of
she
her
was
getting
not.
shot. There's no video of her getting shot.
There's no video of her trying to break a window. But even if what you said, hold on a second here. This is what you liberals do. Okay.
No, don't gaslight. That's what you.
No, excuse me for speaking while you're interrupting. Let's say, okay, you and I are not going to agree about Ashley Babbitt, okay? But let's just say
we're not going to agree about.
Hold on a second here. We're not going to agree about Ashley Babbitt, but just for the sake of argument, let's say that your position on Ashley Babbitt is correct. It's not, but let's just say it is. What does that have to do with this ICE incident? There's this thing called. Hold on, excuse me. I'm not finished.
Okay,
there's this thing called the "you're another" fallacy, right? You're another fallacy. You take and liberals do this all the time. You take 2 incidents and you say, the first time I experienced this is when I was on the air during the O.J. Simpson trial.
Just get to the point.
Excuse me. During the O.J. Simpson trial. And I would have callers who were black who would, as the trial went on, who would say, "Yeah, OJ did it."
I wasn't alive in OJ.
Everything's not about you. Stop talking and listen. You might learn something. I know as a liberal, you don't want to learn. I'm talking to the listening. I am talking to the audience. I am talking to the listening audience of which you're a part of. During the OJ trial, which I call, the OJ trial was I call it the golden age of talk radios. And we would get calls from black callers who would say, yeah, OJ killed those 2 white people, but white people have been getting away with killing black people for 400 years, so 2 for us is okay. You don't take a wrong and say, well, okay, this happened here, but this other thing happened and it makes it okay. It's called "you're another" fallacy, and it doesn't apply.
That's not what I'm doing.
Well, you're
not. That's not what I'm doing.
You're not aware of what you're doing. You're so brainwashed by the left.
Sorry, don't gaslight me. We're just talking about gaslighting, and you're literally gaslighting me right now. You're telling me I'm brainwashed. You know nothing about me. You're gaslighting me. Now,
I know a lot about you.
This has nothing to do. No, you don't. This has nothing to do with O.J. Simpson. It's not in comparison at all.
We're talking about liberal logic. It's liberal logic is what we're talking about. No, I'm letting you talk. You're not letting me talk.
Okay,
it's my show. I'm letting you talk.
All I gotta say is, these 2 situations have to do with the government killing somebody, a government official killing somebody. O.J. Simpson is a private person killing another person. It has nothing the same.
We're talking about liberal logic.
The government.
Liberals don't care.
The government killing people.
Listen, liberals don't care.
The
liberals don't care when their people kill conservatives. Look at the liberal celebration.
Look at
the
How
how you know I'm a liberal? I'm not a liberal.
I have been
I'm an
doing this.
independent.
I have been on the air.
I'm an independent.
Excuse me. I have been on the radio for 35 years.
That's
I have
why.
talked to thousands of people on the phones. And like a police officer who can profile on the street a criminal, I can profile a liberal by the first syllable out of their mouth when I say, "What's your name? You're on the air." Okay.
The literal term of gaslighting, all that stuff.
Enough.
That's literally
No,
what
listen,
they're doing
listen.
at
I got to
the
run
moment.
for a break.
Okay,
I'm late for the
Enough.
break. Oh man, it's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. You know, it blows my mind that these liberal callers are shocked that I know they're liberals. I mean, you know they're liberals. Well, I haven't said I'm a liberal. Yes, you have. You're just not sharp enough to understand that. Callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We'll be right back. What a dope. Okay, now I pulled this up to show you. I can't show this on the radio because it's a visual. But I'm going to show it to you guys during the break. It's another video angle from far away. And I hope that idiot I was just talking to is still watching, because I'll show this. Let me pull it up. Okay. This is from far away, okay? And it had to be zoomed in. Boom. You see? This is her car, and this is the ICE agent. Not this car. There's a silver car here. This blur, this is the ICE agent. And then you see her car come up. Boom. You see, she hit him, and she hit him hard. See that? Boom. And then she hit him on the side with the side view mirror. Look at that. Boom. Then he's on the side and got hit by the side view mirror. That's it. I mean, right? You see it? So what are your thoughts there? I mean, you're seeing it, right? Boom, see it? Boom. And then, boom, he gets hit by the side view mirror, it looks like. So, I mean, that's it. I mean, what else do you need? I'll keep that here, you know. I mean, I wish I could show it on the radio, you know, but you can't show visuals on the radio. That's right. If you're new to the channel, we're in radio station break right now, okay? We broadcast on a whole bunch of radio stations, FM and AM radio stations here in Florida, and we are in commercial break on the radio for about 90 seconds. If you're on hold, stand by. Yeah, this is a video that's somebody probably in their house. You can see, here he comes, boom. He hit her hard, because you see him bend forward over the car, and then he's still on the side getting hit. Boom, and it looks like that side view mirror hit him, and that's got to hurt. Oh, my goodness. We got about 1 minute, and we'll be back. It's pretty scary, isn't it? Very scary. Yeah, boom. Oh. And it's very likely that him shooting got the car to veer off to the side, not go straight and go over him. That when he shot her, and when you see the other video, you can hear the hit before the shots. That the car veered to the right after he shot her. All right, we've got about 25 seconds. The number, if you want to call in, is toll free. It's pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. All right, we've got about 10 seconds. Call is on hold. Stand by. We're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Anthony. I'm in the woods, man. Can you hear me?
Anthony in the woods. Yes, I can hear you. Good signal for the woods.
Yeah. Just to start out with, man, I voted for Trump.
Okay, hold on one second while I answer all my lines. Okay, you voted for Trump. Now you're in the woods. So, okay.
Yeah.
Can you turn down the volume of whatever device you're listening to me on in the background? Because there's a delay.
Okay, sorry.
I can hear myself in the back. It's a great show. It's my favorite show. But because of the delay, it makes it hard to talk. Okay, so you're in the woods. You voted for Trump. Okay.
Yeah. And me and the majority of people around me that voted for Trump jumped ship and feel betrayed.
Okay. So who are these? So these are the people of the woods?
In Tennessee, dog.
The people of the woods. Okay. So when you say jump, hold on, excuse me, woodsman.
Okay.
So you and the people of the woods, you voted for Trump. Now you're, you jump ship. Where did you jump ship to?
It's a figure of speech, still in Tennessee.
Jump ship is a figure of speech in the English-speaking world. So you're no longer MAGA, you're no longer Republican, so you're going to vote Democrat? What are you going to do? You and the people of the woods.
I'm not voting for either one of them.
Oh, that's great. Good. Good for you.
I feel they're pretty much all owned by Israel.
They're all owned by Israel, yeah. What was your main issue that you said, I'm voting for Trump? You voted for Trump, now you're not.
Yeah, I voted for Trump for America first. Israel is our enemy, not our ally.
Yeah. So, no. What were their specific issues that you voted for Trump on?
Immigration, no war.
Okay, he's doing that. And the immigration's being taken care of. He shut down the border. Mass deportations are going on.
No, that's a lie.
I have family from Tennessee, so I know a lot of people in Tennessee. And usually people of Tennessee, with the exception of Al Gore and his scumbag family, are quite honest people. Everything about you's a lie.
Yeah.
You just hate Jews, and you want to pass yourself off as former MAGA. You're some weirdo that hangs out in the woods, like in Deliverance, with you and your friends. And you hate. No,
I'm an American redneck. You're a poser.
Okay, there we go. Oh, first one of the week, Mike. The people, Mr. President, the people of the woods no longer support you. This is one of the... Oh, man. And he ended the war that Israel was in with Gaza. Didn't expand anything. Stupid. They think we're so stupid. They think we're so dumb. They think if they that's a seminar caller, as Rush used to say, the late, great Rush Limbaugh. They think if they call in and say, I voted for Trump, I used to be MAGA, but I'm for America first, and he's not America. It doesn't get more America first than President Trump. Not only did he shut down the border and is doing mass deportations by the millions, he's shutting down future caravans by the liberation of Venezuela that was sending us most of them. I mean, he's doing all the things that you said you voted for him to do. He is absolutely doing it. Oh yeah, Mike the board op. He said, "Is that the grown-up version of the Children of the Corn guy?" Perhaps. Was that Malachi from Children of the Corn? I don't know. Oh my goodness! If you're on hold, stand by. By the way, I just posted on my X, Brian Craig Show on X, a video that was taken far away where and it's zoomed in. And you can see that the woman in Minneapolis not only hit the ICE agent before he fired his weapon, his torso went over the body. Then his torso went over the hood of the car, and then he fired. And then after he fired, the car goes to the right because she was dead, and he's still on the side of the car getting drugged a little bit, and then he gets hit with the side view mirror of the SUV. All right, we'll go back to the phones, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian. I'm Brian. Look, if someone is going to try to run me over, I am going to shoot them too.
Yeah, in fact, I've taken, I'm a gun owner and, I have weapons and such, and I've taken concealed weapon permit courses, even though we have open carry in Florida now. I've taken many concealed courses, and Steve Kane and I actually took a course together once that was trained by an Englishman who trained the SAS, which is their equivalent of Delta Force and the Green Berets in the UK. And we took a course on how to survive and how to fight in a gunfight. And part of it was parking lot confrontations. Because a lot of people you get jacked in parking lots. What do you think the weapons instructor told us was the first thing you should do in a parking lot to defend your life against an attacker? You're a gun owner. You got your weapon. What do you think the first thing he told us to do was?
If someone is going to drive a vehicle at you?
No. If you're getting in your car and somebody comes at you to carjack you, what do you think he told us to do? You've got a car. You're not in the car, but you're opening up the car. You're getting in your car. Someone's coming towards you. What do you think he told us to do? We got our gun.
No, I'm not sure, Brian.
He said, put it in drive and run him over.
Exactly.
You're not going to miss. The first line of defense, if you're being carjacked, is to run them over with the car, that is
the best and biggest weapon. Yes.
And it's accurate.
Yes. It is more accurate than a weapon.
And that's correct. And you're not going to hit an innocent person if you miss.
Yeah. Well, I've had my friend almost get carjacked at the bank, and they pointed a weapon at him, and he put his foot in drive and took them out. And
you got to do it.
And
anytime I go to the drive-through at the bank, I always have the car in drive with my foot on the brake, just in case, because you're vulnerable.
Yep. Yep. That sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
All right, you make a lot of sense. I've been talking to liberal lunatics all morning, so I have somebody sane on the line, and I'm a little confused. I don't know how to converse with a normal, sane person, talking to so many crazy people.
I carry every day, and I do not wish harm on anyone, but if someone wants to harm me or anyone of my loved ones, obviously, then that's, me first, them last.
That's right. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. You're on the air.
Chief Brian Yuck.
Okay, there you go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
It's really great to see that the Secret Service is doing a great job in protecting the president because, man, they're all out to get him, and I'm sure that they know that, and they're working hard to make sure nothing happens. It's better to be extra careful than let something happen. But they're doing a great job. Anyway, the other thing I was thinking about is, President Trump wants to take Greenland, okay, and that Austrian guy who was saying, "Oh, we don't want to take Greenland, and we don't need America to protect us.
Yeah.
We can protect ourselves." I was thinking that exactly probably what Maduro was saying in Venezuela. "Oh, I have an army, I have a navy, I have an air force. They won't do anything to me." And you find out quickly that there's no contest compared to the American army and our military.
That's right. That's true.
They certainly need America to protect them over
That's
there.
right.
Otherwise, they'd be vulnerable.
That's right. All right, Doug. I got to run. We're up against the break, but good points. Agree with everything you said. Now I want to remind you guys, huge deals going on right now at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout. Oh man, I have so many great MyPillow products. I have every type of pillow that Mike Lindell makes. I have the MyPillow mattress, the MyPillow mattress topper, the MyPillow towel set, the MyPillow slippers. I've got everything. The MyPillow pet beds. There's incredible sales right now. Save 50% on the towels, 50% off the Giza cotton dream sheets, which I have. Just great deals. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Right now, the Made in the USA sale is going on. Save up to 50% with the promo code Kane on some of the most popular MyPillow products, including the mattresses. That's promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at MyPillow.com. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. Call us on hold standby. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We'll be back right after this. insane. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me go. I'll go back to this video. And, I mean, this is clear cut. You know, I haven't heard from any liberals that watched the video. Have you? Call in since I showed this? I mean, you can clearly see. Yeah, it's sad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's as clear as it gets, right, with that video. Do you guys agree? It doesn't, you know, this is on my X, so if you want to go there and share it, you know, don't believe your lying eyes. Oh, cool. Okay, we got just over a minute, and we'll be back. I've got to recap the assassination attempt on the president, possibly, in town. And then we'll get into that. I mean, it doesn't get clearer than that, does it? I mean, looking at that video, there's no question what happened there. No question at all. That explains everything. Got less than a minute and we'll be back. Thirty seconds. All right, the 7 o'clock hour has begun. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. All right, if you're just tuning in, we got some big news. There's a lot of big stories today, but we have another possible assassination attempt on President Trump right here again in South Florida. If this is true, well, the incident happened and is true, but if this is truly an assassination attempt, this will be the third one near the airport here in Palm Beach. Last night, when the president was returning to the airport to board Air Force One from Mar-a-Lago, a Secret Service sweep found a suspicious object on the route. This is the second time this has happened. Remember, a couple months ago, they found the sniper's nest directly across from the airport on Southern Boulevard, and it had direct line of sight to Air Force One. and to the top of the stairs. Remember that? And that story has disappeared. We haven't gotten any updates, and it's been 2-3 months or so since that story happened, maybe longer. I don't remember. But so they found a suspicious object on the route from Mar-a-Lago to Air Force One at Palm Beach International Airport. And, that's, of course, Southern Boulevard. And it's one road. It's straight drive from Mar-a-Lago to the airport and back. They took an alternate route. This is what's being reported. The presidential motorcade took an alternate route, they said, through town, which has to be downtown West Palm Beach up there. That's what it is. Once you get on the west side of the Intercoastal Waterway, you're in West Palm Beach. It said through town. So it was vague, but it sounded as if they were zigzagging through downtown West Palm Beach, because that is downtown West Palm Beach. They were driving fast. They were driving close together. At one point, because they were driving so fast, so close together, going around turns, the press vans with the White House press corps nearly collided. They had to slam on their brakes. When the president arrived at Palm Beach International Airport, according to reports, Air Force One had been moved to another part of the airport, and the lights were off. So what happened here, that's all we know right now. But these people, they will never let him go. All right, so here's the president on Air Force One. Well, that'd be the third. Remember, the golf course is down the street from the airport. If you watch my documentary on YouTube of the golf course assassin, I start where the assassin parked and where he was perched, and then his getaway and everything else. And the golf course is right down the street from the airport. So that's three. If this is an assassination attempt, that would be 3 of them in the vicinity of Palm Beach Airport. But if any of you pick up any more than what I've shared about this recent incident, feel free to let me know. Call me. I'm monitoring, but I'm on the air by myself, and I can't constantly monitor. So let me know. Okay, so here the president weighed in on the Minneapolis ICE shooting on Air Force One on the way back to Washington last night.
Everyone's seen it, and the woman was very violent. She's a very radical person. Very sad what happened. Her friend was very radical. Go or drive.
Officer, absolute immunity. How would you define that?
Well, I'm going to let the people define it. But immunity, you know what immunity means as well as I do.
So that officer should be back on the force?
People can't be treating law enforcement that way, whether it's ICE or Border Patrol or our police and men and women. You can't do that. We have, the law enforcement in our country is doing really well, despite the fact that Sleepy Joe Biden allowed people to pour through an open border. Crime stats just came out. We have the best crime stats on record, despite all the criminals he allowed into our country. We've gotten a lot of them out. We have to respect our law enforcement.
That's right.
At a very minimum, that woman was very, very disrespectful to law enforcement. And you heard the same noises. You saw the same crunch that I saw. You can't do that with law enforcement, whether it's police or ICE or Border Patrol or anybody else.
Yeah, isn't it nice to have a president that stands up for the right thing? Other than Donald Trump, we have not had a president that ever was honest, telling us the truth about anything. The best you'd get is, a non-answer. And here he is. This is also talking about the ICE shooting and the 2 married women.
It was highly disrespectful of law enforcement. The woman and her friend were highly disrespectful of law enforcement. You saw that. They were harassing them, were following for days and for hours. And I think, frankly, they're professional agitators.
But does disrespect
and I'd like to find out, and we are going to find out who's paying for it.
But does disrespect
with their brand new signs and all the different things. But these are professional agitators, and law enforcement should not be in a position where they have to put up with this stuff. What that woman and what her friend and what their other friends were doing to law enforcement, not just ICE, law enforcement is outrageous.
Yeah. And, not only do we have the video from far away from a resident showing what happened, we have this video that is really amazing from the ICE officer, and I'm going to play some of it. And these professional agitators is what they were. There was an incident in Boca Raton on Saturday. It's in the local news here in Boca. I don't know if it's made it in the national news. This one was not far from my house, but there was one of these anti-ICE liberal lunatic protests in Boca over by the Home Depot on Glades Road near 441 State Road 7. Okay, you guys know where that is? In Boca. It's in West Boca. And if you notice, what had happened is one of the protesters who was wearing a firefighter helmet and some fluorescent orange vest, like he's a roadside worker or something, got into an argument with a MAGA guy. And there's a video, and of course the video starts after the incident, so we don't know everything that led up to it. But the MAGA guy knocked the helmet off the guy's head. He got arrested. It's in the local news. And one of the tactics that these protesters are using, like this one in Boca on Saturday, or these lunatic agitators in Minneapolis, they're continually trying to instigate and push people's buttons and instigate violence in an incident. They instigate, they do everything they can, and then there's a reaction. However, the video that's from far away from a resident, you see him get hit by her. He was trying to run her over. Shooting her may have saved his life, or certainly a lot more injury, because after she hit him, he fired his rounds, and then the car goes to the right, so it didn't run over him. He was able to slide off the side and get hit by the side view mirror, which has got to hurt like a son of a gun. That guy is probably so messed up right now. When these things first happen, you're in shock, the adrenaline, so you can walk away. But the next day, that's when you really, maybe even later that day, is when the pain sets in. But he had filmed everything with his cell phone camera before she hit him. And you could, there's two things I'm going to point out to you when you listen to this. First, you could hear the way she and her wife are talking to him. They're trying to push his buttons and try to get him to do something. That's one thing. But you actually hear the car hit her, or I'm sorry, you hear her car hit him before he fires his shots. This is the ICE officer's cell phone video, walking around the car in a 360.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning. Just
Oh, I can't play anymore on the radio. I'm sorry, the language is too bad. I just remembered what the woman says. So you'll have to go to my ex to play to play the rest of it. But let me mute it, because she says the wife says the F word, so I can't play this on the radio. You have to go to my ex, Brian Craig Show on X. But I'm sure you've seen it. It's been all over the news over the weekend. It was on Fox all over the weekend and on Newsmax. So I'm glad they're all carrying it. But you hear the thud of the car hitting the ICE officer before he fires his shots. And then we have this new video that I was just sharing with you from far away that I was telling you about. It's clear as the day is long. And they're going to continue with their protest, but the longer this goes on, more people are going to see these videos that I'm sharing. And a lot of these callers that I've been talking to, a bunch of these liberal lunatics that I've been talking to, I don't think they've seen the videos, because I don't think CNN and MSNBC are showing them. I really don't. You know what the next big holiday is? The next big holiday is Valentine's Day. I want to talk about Life Imaging FLA. You've been hearing me share stories of people from this listening audience who went in for that free heart scan, and then they had the cancer screening too, and they found something. They had no symptoms, but they had blockage. They had no symptoms, but they had over 80% blockage. They had no symptoms, but they found cancer. Then they're able to go to their doctors before they have a heart attack, before it spreads, and get treated. A great gift for your Valentine on Valentine's Day is to make the appointment and take them to Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. This is a great gift. When you're there, please ask about the cancer screening too. They're saving lives every day through preventative health. I've had the scans myself. No blockage, no plaque buildup, and sorry, liberals, no cancer. What a piece of mind I have. It's been life-changing because at my age, I'm in my early 50s, I have high cholesterol, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack one day. And when I found out I have no blockage, no plaque buildup, it was such a relief, and no cancer. So even if they find nothing, which is great, you get that peace of mind which is life-changing. But you could save your Valentine's life by taking them in there for that heart scan. Life Imaging FLA have locations in Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. Be sure to ask about the cancer screening when you're there. From your cell, call pound 250 and say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you'll be connected in seconds. We'll be right back. All right. On the line, we have Louis. He had some issues with some taxes in past years, and he called Jamie LeeZep over at Swift Tax, and Jamie took good care of him. Louis, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. So tell me how Jamie from Swift Tax helped you on your taxes.
I was having trouble with another company. I called Jamie, and the next day I brought my wife in there with all the paperwork, and he straightened all my back taxes out, and I'm actually getting money back now.
Wow, this is pretty amazing. So this other company you went to told you you owed the government money, and Jamie over at Swift Tax took a look and found out that not only did you not owe money, you're getting money back from the government?
Yes, I got nice big checks coming soon.
Do what Louis did. Call Jamie LeeZep over at Swift Tax. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Roofing. Happy New Year, health, wealth, and happiness, and may 2026 be your best year. The first quarter of each year is the slowest for roofing contractors across Florida due to the lack of rain, vacationers, and recuperating from the holiday spend. We have secured 2024 pricing on certain roofing materials with our suppliers for the first quarter only. So if you are planning on a new roof in 2026, take advantage of our first quarter low pricing now. These savings are significant, especially for multiple building HOA and condo associations. This covers shingles, tiles, and flat roof systems, so give me a call on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602 or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
All right, less than a minute. We'll be back. If you're on hold, stand by. If you want to call in, the number's toll free. It's pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Oh, man. Here we go, 10 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Okay, we got so much to cover, and the president just had an amazing press conference on Air Force One on the way back to D.C., and there's so many issues, right? Greenland, Iran, Venezuela, Cuba, the ICE raids. You know, these ICE guys, what they're going through, it's so dangerous. First off, in all these cities, they're going after incredibly dangerous people. You know, in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, they found some Somalis at the airport that had over $700,000 in suitcases they were trying to smuggle out of the country. They got busted. And they're dealing with some very dangerous people that they're deporting up in Minneapolis, and you have these leftist agitators tipping them off so they lose the surprise. And a lot of them also were gang members and Tren de Agua and MS-13. And if I remember, President Trump said in his first term that some of the Border Patrol and ICE agents were telling him that these guys are like Al-Qaeda types. They're very, very dangerous. And then you have these lunatic professional activists out there tipping them off before they're there that they're coming. Here's the president talking about ICE.
Generally speaking, I mean, these people have been harassed. They're threatened every day. They had bands out playing so they couldn't sleep at the hotel. I see what they're doing to them. They're threatening them constantly. And all they're doing is doing what I got elected on. We had millions of people that came into our country that are horrible people that shouldn't be in our country. They're murderers, they're drug dealers, they're people from mental institutions, they're the criminally insane, they're people from prisons. They were allowed to come into our country because Biden was a stupid person, and the people surrounding him, very smart, very vicious, but they have no common sense, and they're radicalized people. They're radical left people, not radical right. They're radical left people. And all they're doing is what I campaigned on. I won in a landslide. We won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote. We won the districts. We won everything. We won the counties. We won the counties by 79%, I believe. I campaigned on the great border, and now we have a great border. But Biden let 25 million people come into this country, and many of those people are criminals, including 11,888 murderers.
Man, dangerous.
And we want them out. And I won on that. Now people don't talk about it because the border is so secure. Nobody wants to talk about it anymore. The border was one of the reasons I won the election. I've done such a good job on it that nobody wants to talk about it anymore. The border is totally secure. And now the crime stats just came out, and they're the best numbers since they were taken, and that's like 50 years ago. We have the best crime numbers, despite the fact that a lot of criminals were allowed into our country. We have to respect our law enforcement.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you know, this is amazing what he's going on. And this is something that's been lost because of the press, okay? And here's what's been lost. What's been lost is that President Trump, in the presidential election, the last presidential election, won the popular vote in every battleground state. Flipped a whole bunch of counties, including nearly a dozen counties in California, red. He had a mandate when he came in. He still has it today, and he's doing everything that he promised to do. These are campaign promises. And since liberals are so overrepresented in media, you get a false idea of the popular. You know, guys, I got a new phone, and I don't have everything turned off. So those are texts I'm getting while I'm on the air. I usually have them muted, but I can't get it. I can't figure out how to use the new phone too well yet. I'll get it figured out. Okay, there we go. I got a new iPhone, and it's got a lot of fancy things on it. But he has a mandate for this. But Democrats, the liberals, are overrepresented in media, and they're portraying these lunatic activists, these professional agitators, as the ones who are the brave ones taking the risk and everything else. They're not what what the American people wanted when they elected President Trump, and they are not the heroes. It's President Trump and these ICE agents who are taking extreme risks. And for them to go into these areas to deport these very dangerous killers and thugs and everything that they're going up against, when they're being tipped off with the honking of the horns and the whistles and the music that these agitators are doing, it takes a very dangerous situation and amplifies the danger level I don't know how many times. Very dangerous what they're doing here. And this whole incident in Minneapolis happened because of what the left is doing. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. If you're on hold, stand by. This is going to be the year, guys, that you keep your New Year's resolution to lose weight. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I lost over 35 pounds last year with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, and I've kept the weight off. I've not gained back a single ounce. They can help you no matter where you are located in the world. And we have listeners all over the United States that have literally lost a ton of weight through Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I want to remind you, there are no shots, no injections, no pills, no medication. No surgery. I didn't work out. I didn't go hungry. I didn't starve myself, and I ate foods I would normally eat, and I still lost the weight, and I've kept it off. And keeping it off has been such a success because I didn't have all these big lifestyle changes that you would go through if I did intense workouts, starve myself, ate yucky food. No, I ate foods I would normally eat. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret right now and schedule your no-charge consultation, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. Make sure you tell them I sent you. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break. When we get back, there's a lot more to share. A lot of news over the weekend, no doubt about it. The toll-free number is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour, come back with your calls and more right after this.
Do mealtimes feel more stressful than satisfying in your home? You're not alone. Between busy schedules, picky eaters, and rising grocery costs, eating healthy can't feel impossible. That's why Dennis Heikkinen wrote the family-friendly Healthy Eating Cookbook, available on Amazon. This practical, easy-to-use cookbook is packed with over 100 simple, nutritious, kid-approved recipes designed for real families and real life. Every meal is easy to prepare, budget-friendly, and made to help your whole family enjoy breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even snacks without spending hours in the kitchen. Whether you're a busy parent, a beginner cook, or just trying to build healthier habits at home, the family-friendly Healthy Eating Cookbook gives you the confidence to cook with ease and bring joy back to your life. Order your copy right now on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. The family-friendly Healthy Eating Cookbook on Amazon. You know that frustration. You're doing everything right, working harder, spending more time on your marketing. You're hiring good people too, and still you're stuck. What if the real problem isn't what you think it is? Did you know that most high achievers are stuck because they're solving the wrong problem? You can get unstuck. You just need the right help and guidance. And that's what you will find on Beyond Blind Blaming, the podcast hosted by Kevin D. St. Clergy. Kevin learned early that when you can't see the real issue, even your best efforts, they'll fail. Now he helps entrepreneurs, leaders, and high achievers uncover the hidden blind spots that are holding them back. Each episode of Beyond Blind Blaming breaks down real business and leadership challenges, profit issues, team problems, scaling struggles, and reveals what's actually getting in the way. On Beyond Blind Blaming, there's no hype, no blame, just actionable clarity. If you're ready to stop solving the wrong problems and start leading with purpose, add Beyond Blind Blaming with host Kevin D. St. Clergy to your podcast playlist right now on Spotify and Apple Podcast, and stop feeling stuck.
All right, if you're on hold, stand by, guys. We got less than a minute. You're on the air. What's your name?
Hey, Brian.
Hey,
It's Charlotte from
wait.
Arkansas.
Oh, hey, Arkansas. Oh, wait a
Can
second.
you hear
Hold,
me?
Yeah. Hold on. We're not quite back yet. I got the timer. I got 30 seconds. I'm going to put you back on hold. You'll be first up. I thought we were coming on at 10 seconds after. We're coming on at 45 seconds after. I got the times wrong. If you're on hold, hang in there. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, it's Charlotte from Arkansas.
All right, Arkansas. What's on your mind?
I'm calling. I didn't want to call. I thought to do this, but I need to address the gentleman that called in about having struggles with his parents because ICE is taking some of the people that are business owners.
Yes.
I'm from Arkansas. This is a rural agricultural state. And we have hired illegals over the decades. And that is hard because these people become your families. You raise their kids and they become your kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, this is very emotional to me. It's why I didn't want to call. But I have to think. I can't think of myself. I have to think of my nation. And for these people that are my family, they have to go. I have to put our nation first. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion of that.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you look at, I understand, the guy that called in early on, if you missed it, he was born in this country. His parents were illegals from Mexico. They got their citizenship last year. They went through the process. And he was telling us how the local ice cream man and I think the guy from the flower shop got deported and they've been here 30 or 40 years. And I said to him, well, your parents came here illegally, but they went through the process and got their citizenship. Why couldn't these guys do it?
Exactly. I totally agree. I think of I go back. I'm old and I try to reconcile this stuff with myself for our nation. And I think of the Civil War. Okay, you can think of those that that this nation brought over here as the blacks versus the ones that have come over here now. We are in a civil war over this.
No, we're not. We're not. We're not in a civil war.
We are. If you're talking,
that doesn't mean.
Let's not even go there.
It doesn't mean that these Antifa. Hold on. We're not in a civil war. It doesn't mean that these Antifa don't think they're going to bring down the government, but they're tearing down their own blue cities. The country's behind Trump.
We're talking.
The country's behind Trump, and the country is not divided. Mm-hmm. If you look at what's going on, it's in Democrat states in the bluest of blue cities.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying, but let's not even go there then.
All right.
What I'm saying, okay, is that during the Civil War we were fighting over the freedom of the blacks, or that was part of it. And here it's like we're fighting over those that have come across the border. Do you see what my point?
Let me tell you, it's the exact same thing. It's what the Democrats are doing is the exact same thing they were doing during the Civil War was about slavery and nothing else. I know some people will say states' rights. Yeah, the states' rights to allow slavery. Okay, but they were fighting the Confederacy, which were the Democrats. The Democrats in the Civil War were fighting to keep their slaves. Well, the Democrats are doing the same thing now. The illegals are slaves. They're slaves by another name, right? You hear them. Well, who's going to mow your lawn? Who's going to clean your toilets? Who's going to work in the kitchens?
Exactly.
So the Democrats are trying to keep their slaves today in 2026, just like they were trying to do in the 1860s. The Democrats have always been slave owner people. This is just a new, updated 21st century of the Democrat slavery. That's all. They're fighting for the same thing.
I agree. But the difference is, to me, is that the blacks were brought over here. It was not their opinion to be brought over here. The ones that are here now, they came over here freely.
Okay.
That's a big difference.
There is a difference.
So we kind of owed the blacks something because they were forced over here.
You make a point.
The illegal immigrants come over here illegally, so they'll have no valid point. And
Yep.
That's just my opinion.
No, you make some
and
good
that's
points.
hard. Like I said, that's hard. These people are my family. They really are. So it's hard for me to tell you this. But I can tell you the reason, because we have used illegal aliens for decades. And the reason is because we have a problem here with Americans working. They don't want to work. They're on welfare. If they do work, they're disrespectful. They steal from you. They won't work even though they're getting employed. So all that's got to be fixed. It's just very convoluted and complex.
Well, that's why President Trump directed Homeland to not do the raids at the farms, because we need the farm workers while we do a transition. You can't deport all the farm workers at once. It'll disrupt the food supply and cause mass inflation.
Right. Well, see, we're chicken farmers, and we closed the business down because we just couldn't get the Americanized people to work. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah. All right.
It's just sad. So yeah, it's hard.
Listen. Some of these deportations. You can. I saw the cameras. They deported a family right out of their house, and then you find out that they're trafficking people. But they portrayed it. Oh, look at this! They're in the suburbs. They're in a nice house in the suburbs. They're trafficking humans through that house in the suburbs. Human trafficking is slave trafficking. They just don't call it that.
That's true, but I don't care anymore. My country has got to come first.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say that, but like I said, if they're not belong here, they don't belong here.
All right.
Well, that's hard to say.
All right. Appreciate the call, Arkansas. You made some good points.
Thank you, Brian. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free, no matter where you're listening. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Brian from California, Brian. So
Okay.
I was wondering, can we get a spicier shot to get these damn freaking liberals out of here? So
No, it's America, and you have a right to opinions. No, you can't deport people because you don't like them. No.
No, I'm not saying deport people. I'm saying people that are around the Capitol and doing all this stupid crap. Can we get a spicier shot to their face?
All right. I mean, another fake conservative. All right. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. I wanted to play this earlier, and I forgot. This is Ilhan Omar. Now, keep in mind, in Minnesota, the last count was that the Somali fraud operation is $19 billion with a B in stolen money. This is Ilhan Omar on MS Now over the weekend talking about the federal investigation into the Somali fraud.
I'm so exhausted in trying to ask what any of this, information has led to you finding any criminals that you have indicted.
Well, there were two that were convicted by a jury in Minnesota. Remember, and the Clinton judge let him go. She's trying to act like there's investigations going on. There'll be more indictments. Don't worry. She might be one of them. Indicted, right?
I'm so exhausted in trying to ask what any of this, information has led to you finding any criminals that you have indicted that explains why you are wasting so much of our taxpayer resources and also terrorizing our communities in the amount of federal law enforcement agents that you have in the streets of our city and our state. There needs to be some sort of justification.
Okay, Ilhan Omar needs some reasons why the feds are investigating the Leering centers of Minnesota and Minneapolis. Like, there's no reason. I'll give her 19 billion reasons. Is that enough? Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. By the way, how did you go from being broke to being worth $30 million, Ilhan Omar? Because if you know how to make money like that, could you share it with me so I can be worth $30 million too? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Scott. I'm calling from Kansas City. And Miss Omar, she was on Deface the Nation yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to find out about how she got that $30 million. She, in her district, said she really wanted life to be beautiful by defunding the police. I don't know where boy, there would be police. There'd be
Well,
guys
if she,
riding
you
around
know,
the back of
she
trucks.
had a negative net worth when she was elected to Congress, what, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
And now she's worth $30 million. You know,
I heard it was 45,000.
in the whole
45,000.
she was worth negative 45,000. Yes, when she got elected to Congress like 6 years ago. Now she's worth $30 million. And if she knows how to make money like that, to go from $45,000 in debt to a net worth of $30 million, boy, just think about all the people she could lift out of poverty if she would just tell us how she made all that money.
And it's not her husband who's a genius. I'm sure
He was not rich. When she married this guy, he was not wealthy. I thought he was. He was not. I just assumed it was through him. No, he was not wealthy when they got married. Nope. He's wealthy now.
She was casting aside that she had anything to do with any of this. Oh, come on. Tell me she had no knowledge of this.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, what I called about was I really feel for the woman who called from Arkansas. I lived a lot of my life in Arkansas. Well, I went to school down there from Southwest Missouri because it was closer than going to MU or KU.
Mm-hmm.
My family lived in two places, in Kansas City, Kansas, and down in Southwest Missouri. Fayetteville, Rogers, Springdale is a very, very wealthy area, and their economy based on mostly agriculture and merchandising. Walmart, J.B. Hunt Trucking, and Tyson's. Tyson's just went from the biggest poultry producer in Arkansas to the biggest poultry producer in the world to the biggest food supplier in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the local population just didn't have the numbers to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hispanic population just suddenly exploded. And the Tyson brothers and the Waltons and the money to back them, which was the A.G. Edwards family. The A.G.
We're getting too detailed about these things that you know, save for another day. But yeah, I understand that in certain industries, the illegals have been there for a long time, and that's why President Trump said lay off the farms, in those kind of places for now, because we don't have the workers ready to replace them yet. So we got enough of the rapists and murderers and people like that, and then when we're done with all those people, then we'll turn to the farm. So you're right about that. Listen, so I'll give you the last word because I got to run.
Yeah, but the amazing thing is that the people should have known about this. You see, Carter brought in the boat lift. You should know about it. You were in Florida. You knew about it too.
Yeah, but see, there's a difference with the Cubans. There's a difference with the Cubans. Okay, the Cubans that left. I know I'm not talking about 1980, the Mario boat lift. I know there's some controversies around that. But when the Cubans first came here, when the communists took over, those were the entrepreneurial people and the educated people, right? And they rebuilt Miami into a beautiful place.
I go along with that.
Yeah, there's
100%.
a big difference. Yeah.
But what I was saying was about this, that Carter set the hard course. You see, Castro emptied out all his sanitariums and his prisons.
Yeah, that was the Mario boat lift. Yeah.
And he sent them to Fort Smith, Arkansas, and that turned everybody against Clinton. Clinton lost his
Listen, I got to run. I'm late for the break, but I appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. All right. Hey, it's Brian.
Hey, man.
Hey there. We've got about 90 seconds till we're back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody on YouTube, this is so let's talk to the YouTube audience real quick before we go on the radio. And you know,
Cool.
one of the things I want that I wanted to we're going to talk about today. A listener had asked me Friday. He sent me a message about singles. Do you have any singles? We have a lot of single people that are going, right?
Yeah, this group has a lot of singles this time around.
Yeah. But, you know, and if you come by yourself, you're not going to be by yourself.
Oh, no, you got
Ian and I have to pay for our cruise today by being bartenders, and we're handing out the complimentary drinks. Now, you guys, whatever you don't drink, Ian and I have to finish.
You'll be hanging out with the entire group, and you'll have a great time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're all over the ship when we don't have, you know, events at the different, you know, bars and lounges and, you know,
and
shows
the excursions.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, you'll never be lonely. You'll never feel like you're alone.
No, definitely not.
And there's, you know, there's a big bond everybody has because everyone's, you know, MAGA. All right, we got about 20
we're like
seconds.
Cruise family.
That's exactly right. We got 20 seconds, so stand by. I'm a little short on time, so.
No problem, man.
Okay, 10 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. And those of you that are new to the program, every year, Steve Kane and I take a MAGA cruise with our listeners. And our 10th annual MAGA cruise is coming up March 23rd, we leave, Ian?
March 22nd.
22nd. Well, we'll be at, hey, listen, I'll be at sea. We'll be at sea on the 23rd. From Cruise and Travel Depot, we have Ian on the line. And I wanted to talk about a couple of things with our 10th annual MAGA cruise. So we leave on the 22nd. And on the Celebrity Beyond, which is such a beautiful luxury cruise ship. And where are we going, Ian?
We're going to San Juan, Puerto Rico, Tortola, British Virgin Islands, and Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic.
Yeah, and this is a private group, and in our ports of call, we have shore excursions that are private and exclusive to our group. Only people from our group are on them. We have incredible shore excursions. And we have dinner together every night as a group. We have a lot of shipboard activities together as a group. And those of you that have been before, we're doing things a little different, so we're even together more if you choose. You don't have to, but if you choose to be with us on board, even more so than ever before. But I wanted to talk about a couple of things in particular, Ian. One, first-time cruisers, because you were telling me we have quite a few people coming this time that have never been on a cruise before. I've been cruising since I was 18 years old. And sometimes we assume that people understand what they're getting. Tell people what's included when you go on the cruise.
Well, all the meals are included. You know, besides the sit-down dinners, and you know, you can go to the dining rooms for lunch and breakfast as well.
Yeah.
You know, includes coffees, basic drinks. I mean, most of our people, I would say 98% have the drink package, and those drinks are not just alcohol. They're sodas, lattes, cappuccinos. You can go to Cafe Al Baccio. You know, the shows are all included, most of the entertainment. You know, some people go to the specialty restaurants, although that's, you know, an upcharge and not really necessary considering the food quality.
Mm-hmm.
But you really get a lot for your money on board.
Yeah, and by the way, Celebrity Cruise Line is a luxury cruise line without the luxury price, mind you. And, you know, not only is everything included, some of the cruises we've been on, I remember one time the whole week I spent $25 out of my pocket because I bought something at the gift shop. You know, and there's been a couple of cruises where I haven't spent 10 cents because everything's included. So if you're a first-time cruiser, oh, get ready, man. And we have a great MAGA group. We have people that travel from all over the United States that come on our cruises. And this is our 10th annual cruise. Many people have been on every single cruise. And most everyone, when they come on one of our cruises, they go on all the future cruises because we have this great cruise MAGA family. The other thing I wanted to talk about, Ian, were the singles. People, a lot of times people, I don't have someone to go with. And we have a lot of singles that go, and they're not going to feel alone.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you know, the first night we all get together and everybody gets to know each other. It's like a big reunion,
Mm-hmm.
and our group is really welcoming, you know, to new guests. So, there's no reason to feel apprehensive about coming by yourself because you fit right in.
Yeah, you're not going to be alone, and you're going to be very welcoming. All of our events are private to our group. You'll be part of the family, and you won't just be hanging out with the singles unless you want to. All of us will be hanging out with you. So listen, guys, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. You're just going to have a great time. We leave March 22nd on the Celebrity Beyond for a week. Great destinations, great excursions, and great MAGA people. 561-244-5779. If you're coming from out of town or out of state, Ian can help you with airfare and hotel stay on both sides of the trip as well. If you get his voicemail, leave a message. Ian will call you back. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. All right, Ian, we'll talk soon.
Take care.
All right, take care. All right. Yeah, join us, guys. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Jason from Spokane.
Hey, Spokane. What's on your mind?
Hey, I wanted to talk to you about how immigration affects the midterms, and specifically on this issue of the recent killing in Minneapolis, Renee Good. The resulting protests that have happened and the new No Kings protest that is planned for this year is going to be even bigger than the one last year, which was the biggest protest in American history. And I do not think the Republicans are winning the optics war in preparation for the midterms. I think it's going to be a big loss. And
these No Kings, the bigger than during the Martin Luther King civil rights movement, huh? The No Kings was bigger than that? The No Kings were bigger than any of Martin Luther King's events?
Yes.
Okay, when Martin Luther King was organizing his great events, what were they organizing and protesting for? What were they protesting? Martin Luther King and his movement.
Well, several factors. Segregation,
ending Democrat segregation. Correct. That was the big one. That was a big one.
Okay.
What else?
Bullet points. The supposedly high amount of violence against blacks by police.
No. What Martin Luther King was fighting against was to end segregation and for equality of African Americans, which we've achieved. What are the No Kings people protesting for? What are they advocating for?
They're anti-ICE and they're anti-Trump.
Oh, so it's a hate movement. They hate cops and they hate President Trump. Martin Luther King. Hold on a second. Martin Luther King's movement was modeled after the great Gandhi, right? The peaceful protest, and it was based on love. But you're telling me No Kings, they're about hate. They hate Trump, they hate cops. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
The problem with No Kings is not that it's a hate movement. It's that it has actually, I think, been pretty effective. Their messaging that no human is illegal and that United States is a nation of immigrants.
No human's illegal, really? So
I do not agree with their sentiment.
I understand, but this idea that
they are winning the optics war.
No, they're not.
They're playing the humanity.
How are they winning?
Of the optics war.
How are they winning? The only protest I see, the only protest I see are in these blue places, Minneapolis, Portland, places like that. There was one in Boca, over the weekend here in Florida, liberal area, okay, in Palm Beach County, okay. I don't see any. Martin Luther King's movement was a nationwide event. The No Kings movement is fake. It's not organic. I went to the No Kings march in Fort Lauderdale, and I went undercover. If you go on my X at Brian Craig Show, you can watch my video. I went undercover. I didn't wear my MAGA clothes, and I interviewed the people. And I went up to them and had them tell me about their signs. The first guy I talked to, I said, "Hey, can you tell me about your sign?" He says, "Oh, I don't know what it says. They just gave it to me." And then I went and I got behind the scenes where the organizers were, and I show on the video. It's on X. The box of the fake signs that are supposed to be spontaneous. Martin Luther King's movement was an organic movement of people that were risking their lives. This is corporate. This is like some corporate entity is backing No King. No Kings is a fake movement. It's not a real movement.
Have you heard of the journalist Dr. Karlin Borisenko?
No.
You haven't? Okay. She's been studying the left and all of these movements for about 6 years. She has a YouTube channel for you and your viewers if you want to check her out. It's very good on-the-ground research. She attends leftist events in costume so that they can't recognize her all the time. She goes undercover against the left all the time. And her conclusion is not that these are top-down corporate-funded protests, but that they are grassroots and that these people actually do believe what they're saying.
No, she'd be wrong.
And the problem,
she'd be
the
wrong.
problem is that the right is not taking the left taking itself seriously.
No, they would be wrong.
And
Now, the people, these are not organic, okay? These are, no. And and if you go to these, I went to the No Kings and I went to the Tesla protest. Most of them are senior citizens or older gays. They're old hippie types that are still trying to relive the glory days of the summer of love. No, they're all very corporate. They're all very organized, and if you go to them in person and you follow the organizers that have the bullhorns with the chants, you can tell that they're organized. Like Renee Good, who was an ICE educator, who was educating people on the cops. You know, so I mean that's the way it is.
Well, I won't take up too much more of your time, but I did want to ask one more thing. Do you think that it is still reasonable for, during the midterms, for Congress people to win, Republicans to continue to win, if they are not backing Trump 100% on immigration? Do you think they should still win, and we should just say, oh,
yes.
A Republican is the lesser of two evils?
If in the general election for Congress, I don't care who they are. If they're a Republican, you got to vote for them because they count towards the majority. Yes. Otherwise, you're voting for a Democrat.
Even though Trump hasn't received that much help from Congress, I mean, his authority against Antifa and his authority.
Well, our majority is slight. We need a larger majority. But if anyone when you're in the general election, you got to vote for every Republican, no matter how stupid they are, because they count towards the majority. Yeah. Otherwise, you're voting for a Democrat. Yes.
See, I don't know. I think that the Republicans that aren't 100% with Trump on immigration should,
I'd rather have them in there than a Democrat because it counts towards our majority. I don't want any of those Republicans in Congress, but if you're in the general and that's all you got. All right, listen, I got to run. We're coming up to the break. If you're on hold, stand by. Do you or someone you know or love suffer from neuropathy? Oh, man, we have the solution for you. Steve Kane not only had neuropathy, he had it bad. He was homebound, bedbound, had every symptom in the book. The numbness, the pain, the burning, tingling in the hands and feet, dizziness, falling down, no feeling at all, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet. Lighthouse Medical, 3.5 years ago, treated Steve and rid him of his neuropathy symptoms. 3.5 years later, it hasn't returned. Give them a call. They can help you no matter where you are located in the world. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Get rid of that neuropathy. Give them a call right now. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be back right after this. All right. If you're on hold, hang in there.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Roofing. Happy New Year, health, wealth, and happiness, and may 2026 be your best year. The first quarter of each year is the slowest for roofing contractors across Florida due to the lack of rain, vacationers, and recuperating from the holiday spend. We have secured 2024 pricing on certain roofing materials with our suppliers for the first quarter only. So if you are planning on a new roof in 2026, take advantage of our first quarter low pricing now. These savings are significant, especially for multiple building HOA and condo associations. This covers shingles, tiles, and flat roof systems, so give me a call on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602 or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
On the line, we have Lewis. He had some issues with some taxes in past years, and he called Jamie LeeZep over at Swift Tax, and Jamie took good care of him. Lewis, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. So tell me how Jamie from Swift Tax helped you on your taxes.
I was having trouble with another company. I called Jamie, and the next day I brought my wife in there with all the paperwork, and he's straightened all my back taxes out, and I'm actually getting money back now.
Wow, this is pretty amazing. So this other company you went to told you owed the government money, and Jamie over at Swift Tax took a look and found out that not only did you not owe money, you're getting money back from the government?
Yes, I got nice big checks coming soon.
Do what Lewis did. Call Jamie LeeZep over at Swift Tax. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. Okay, Steve, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got less than a minute.
Okay. Have you seen the metal prices this morning?
No. Well, we'll have William in a bit.
Something.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I know. But you might promo it though.
I don't have it. I don't have them. We got 30 seconds.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
All right. The 8 o'clock hour has begun. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Steve Kane joining us. Oh, boy, lots of news, Steve.
Good morning. Oh, it's unbelievable what's going on.
Well, was a major story that broke in the middle of the night that it's not being widely reported that I wanted to just recap. I brought it up earlier, but did you have somewhere you wanted to go before we do all that?
No, it's okay. You want to go with the assassination attempt?
Yeah, for people that don't know, this is also a local story. There may have been another assassination attempt on the president here in Florida, and I'll just tell you what happened. And if this was an assassination attempt, it's the third one near the airport against the president, right? Remember, the golf course is right down the street from the airport where that assassin was at. They found that sniper's nest in the tree with a line of sight to Air Force One a couple of months ago by the airport. This one, Secret Service did a sweep, found a suspicious device along the route, which would be Southern Boulevard. That's the way from Mar-a-Lago to the airport.
Did they any description of what they mean by the
Nope, they didn't say.
Device?
No, they said a suspicious device. They diverted the president's motorcade. It was reported in the Daily Mail at a high speed through the city, which would be West Palm Beach. They had the motorcade driving fast and close together. They were zigzagging around twists and turns, very unusual route. They were zigzagging and going so fast and so close together around a turn. The press vans almost had a rear-end collisions in the motorcade. They were so chaotic. When the president got to the airport, Air Force One had been moved to another part of the airport than it usually sits, and all the lights were off, which is very unusual. And it's so, who's behind it? Who knows? Iran, the leftist, Ukraine, who knows?
Oh, I think it's the local.
The leftist, the Antifa types? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the people who are about to go to jail.
Yes.
From Minnesota.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
The whole thing is one massive diversion.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it, I mean, I got to think doesn't it look like another assassination attempt?
You got to have something more solid than that.
I don't know. That's what they said with the sniper's nest, and this would be if it was an assassination attempt, which we don't know for sure. That would be the third one around the airport here in Palm Beach. It would be the fifth attempt on his life in the last 2 years.
Brian, I hate to say this, but I don't consider this. I don't think there's enough evidence of an
the president, since the president comes here every weekend, in both terms, even during the auto pin terms, I spend a lot of time watching the motorcades, going up to see them, going up to see Air Force One. I do it all the time for years, okay? And I follow them really close. Through everything that's happened, I have never seen the motorcade go through West Palm in an alternate route like that. Not once. And I follow these things so close. For them to do that has to be a pretty big deal. Even with the sniper's nest, they didn't do that. And have the lights off on Air Force One, this was a whole nother level. And now, again, I know I follow this more than most people because, it's so cool to be able to live so close to where the president lives, and you get to see Air Force One all the time or Trump Force One, and it's cool. So I've just been ultra involved in following it. And this is above and beyond anything I've seen them do before.
Well, I think it comes under the heading of better safe than sorry. I think they're going, they're ultra sensitive to everything that's going on.
Never seen them go through the side streets. Never seen them go through the side streets. And it was reported that they went through the side streets at a high rate of speed and had everyone, had the cars like basically bumper to bumper. They never travel that close. And I've seen them, go fast from the airport to Mar-a-Lago. They always have plenty of room in between. For them to be bumper to bumper, it's very unusual. And it's very, whatever they found changed things up in a way I've never seen. And to have the lights off on Air Force One. They turn the lights off on Air Force One, Steve, when they're flying into a war zone, not at Palm Beach International Airport. I've never seen that. But anyway, that's I'll be following that. And if I get any updates during the show, I'll let you guys know. All right.
Yeah, please. I'm interested in finding out what's going on.
Yeah. Do you want to take calls? What do you want to do?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name?
What we do.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mr. Brian, this is Andrew. Honestly, do you think that anyone would be stupid enough, other than the leftists, to be the one that would be assassinating President Trump?
Well, of course, Republican, we love them. These assassins are all leftist. The golf course assassin was working for Ukraine.
Yes.
So, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate the call. Appreciate the call. All right. Not much to say there. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi there. My name is Stan. I'm calling from Washington State.
What's up?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask more about Renee Good.
Well, you're on the air.
Go ahead. This is it. Your big moment.
Let me move you over to speakerphone.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. So, between Renee Good and Ashley Babbitt, which one is more of a defensive attack?
Why are you? Why? Before I answer your question, because I do want to answer your question for the liberally impaired in the audience. What kind of person are you to laugh and giggle about the death of two women? What kind of person are you?
I'm not laughing and giggling at them. I'm laughing and giggling at you for the hypocrisy.
Okay, well, let me explain the difference. If you go back and watch the extended video of Ashley Babbitt, right before she was shot dead by that cowardly cop, she went up to along the wall in that hallway. There were two Capitol police officers standing up against the wall. She went up to them and begged and pleaded with them to stop the people from going further down that hallway. They wouldn't stop. She was trying to stop the people from advancing, and then she got shot.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted an answer?
And the president pardoned her and gave her family $5 million for the hardship.
She wasn't pardoned. She was dead.
Well, everyone. It was a blanket pardon, so everything. That
No,
was
there was not a blanket pardon.
Including some people.
Did that escape your notice that she died? Is that the level of expertise we're dealing with here?
I would seem so. He is in Washington.
Hello, Space Control to Captain Tom.
Couldn't hear you. I told that before. But if somebody's climbing through your window in your house versus somebody standing in front of your car, who do you get the right to shoot first?
See, there you are laughing again. Why do you find this funny? Why are you giggling about the death
Well, you're
of
the
women?
one that's laughing.
This guy's laughing. I don't understand why he's laughing about this.
I'm trying to figure that out.
Absolute tragedies.
Then why do you keep laughing? Why do you keep laughing?
I'm laughing at y'all because
strange
the
reaction.
Department of Homeland Security decided to tweet out minutes after the shooting saying that they were a domestic terrorist before anything came out, tweeting just lies because they can.
Well, I'll give you the update. I'll give you
how terrible all of this shit is.
Okay, there we go. All right, there you go, Mike. Oh boy, that's their lifeline, Steve. Right when they know.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, and I was talking earlier. You're better at this than me, but I was talking to a caller earlier who had a similar question. Their new talking point. That's the second caller I've had is about the Ashley Babbitt versus this, and I was explaining to this very liberally impaired caller earlier in the show about the you're another fallacy, and I was explaining. I told we're not going to agree about Ashley Babbitt. They're two different, but I told him, I said, if everything you're saying about Ashley Babbitt is true, what does one have to do with the other incident? You can't point to something that's wrong and say, well, we're allowed to do this because of this. It's the you're another fallacy. It's just they're totally unrelated. There's no comparison between the two of them. But what we have with the ICE agent in Minneapolis that we did not have with Ashley Babbitt is a lot of video from many different angles. And there's a new video, Steve, that a local resident up the street took it looks like from their house window. And you can see that she hits him. She, remember we saw the video where her wife got in the car and said, "Drive, baby, drive." She did. You can see in the new video where she hits him, his torso is bent over the hood of the car, and then he fires. And when he fires, the car goes to the right, and he slides off the side of the vehicle, and because she was dead, she was dead, and he gets hit by the side view mirror. What we have so many camera angles that what's going on here is really not up for debate. Ashley Babbitt, we didn't have a lot of video, and we certainly didn't have it from multiple angles like we have. And with this, by the way, all the video we have, except the cell phone from the ICE officer, are from mostly the liberal idiot demonstrators. I wanted to talk about your new accountant, Steve, Jamie LeeZep from Swift Tax. And,
yes.
And we did not reveal this before because I didn't know if you wanted me to or not, but you gave me the okay.
Absolutely.
Jamie LeeZep from Swift Tax is the accountant of Steve Kane, and you and your wife met with, and I'm meeting with Jamie LeeZep later this morning at Swift Tax at his office. Jamie LeeZep at Swift Tax actually looked back at your past couple of years and found out your old accountant you'd been paying too much on past years, Steve.
Absolutely, and it's a very scary thing. I know we had both been unhappy with the job our accountant had been doing, and just sometimes you get lulled into the status quo, and we'd never done anything about it. And I said, Lori, this is the year. We got a great referral about Jamie, and we went to see him. He just did a super job. All the questions I had were answered, and we're going to be paying a lot less tax now than we were before.
Yeah,
with the account we had before.
That's right, and you may be getting some money back on those past years. The thing about Jamie Levac at Swift Tax is he can handle your taxes no matter where you are in the United States. You know, one of our listeners from Georgia, Steve, called him up, and so if you're in a state that has state income tax, or even city tax, like in New York City, he can help you with all of that. So no matter where you're located, he's here in South Florida physically, like we are. But no matter where you're located, Jamie Levac at Swift Tax can help you with your taxes too, just like he's doing for Steve Kane and did an incredible job. Here's his number. This number rings directly to Jamie Levac, 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587. We'll be right back. All right, I'm going to put you on hold for a minute, Steve. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So you can see, guys, in this video, you see he's in front of the car. Boom. Then he shoots, and then he's brushed on the side. If he didn't shoot her, that tire might have gone over his whole body. You can see it right there. Steve, you there?
I'm here.
We got 90 seconds, so stand by.
Okay.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve's here. This is the Steve Kane Show. You know, that's their new talking point, Steve, this week is, well, what about Ashley Babbitt? You know, another thing about
It's all a diversion. It's all diversion. Everything they're doing.
Well,
it's this political establishment of Minnesota that's getting ready to go to jail for the rest of their lives.
And they're orchestrating
all
it.
they're trying to do is distract from what they've done.
That's right.
And that special prosecutor is going to change everything, because that's what's going to be the object of focus when they get things organized.
Yeah, this is a big one. Now, yeah, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
The caller, we had to end the call, sadly, but what I was going to tell him, one thing that Ashley Babbitt did not have that Renee Good had was a deadly weapon. Renee Good had that 2-ton car, right? And that's a deadly weapon. Ashley Babbitt was unarmed. This thing you mentioned, this special prosecutor is a little different. It's a new position, a new deputy attorney general. It's a new position they've created specifically.
And it's a federal position.
That's right, presidential appointment. All right. Do you want to take some? But you're right. I mean, what you're saying is what I believe, Steve. Right, that the Democrats, out of fear of these mass arrests over the fraud, are orchestrating these things to try to stop the federal investigation in Minnesota.
They're trying to create a diversion. That's all it is.
I don't think I think what they're doing is making the investigation easier because no one's looking at it except the investigators right now. You know what I mean? It's making the
but they're concerned with the attention of the press, and the press has been focusing on these other things.
Yes,
they're trying to use the situation in Minnesota as a headline grabber to get the attention off the fraud, which is so massive. It's going to go way beyond, I think, Minnesota, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to take some of the calls, Steve?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Stuart, Florida.
Stuart, Florida. Welcome.
Yes, this is Charles. How are you?
All right, Charles.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey. Okay, so I guess I'm on the air.
Yep.
When they compare things, what always made me think was that so-called Summer of Love, where they were burning down sections of cities, and they don't say nothing about that. All they care about January 6th. And I was like, so Minneapolis, I mean, all these like Summer of Love on the West Coast meant nothing. Because, if you want to keep score, it's like all the people that they let in who raped and killed people, it's like that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And another thing, which is really interesting, if you didn't know anything about what was going on in this country and somebody dropped you in Minneapolis, what side is the side that's insane and acting like lunatics? I mean, that right there, and the other thing was, which really is amazing, it's like they would love for Trump to get assassinated. They want death to Trump. I mean, they really do, and that's scary. So I just thought I put those three thoughts out there.
The whole thing is scary.
It is, but
it is.
But I was watching the protest all over the weekend, and they have not spread out of the most liberal blue areas. So the media overblows what's going on here. They're trying to make it. They're trying to make
problem.
The media are trying to make it look like a nationwide protest, and it's not. It's in.
It's all about grabbing headlines. That's what it's about. That's why the Minnesota thing is the hot spot, because there's a massive fraud investigation, and they can't get the attention off the bad guys who are the Minnesota political establishment.
Oh yeah, well it's funny because my father told me like let's just take New York State. He goes people who live in upstate New York are Republicans. All your Democrats are in the big cities. So and that made sense. I'm sure people in Minnesota who live up in the lakes and the country area are probably Republicans. I would guess.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I do know this. If we were not winning, they wouldn't be behaving this way. These are all acts of desperation, and every time I see go ahead.
Well, they're the biggest sore losers in the world. And like I said, the people who are out there protesting, it's like, grow up, get a job. I mean, is there more to your life than just hating somebody? So I just wanted to drop that in.
All right. Well, welcome from Stuart. Take care. All right. Great call. All right. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yeah,
Troy, West Palm. How you doing?
Hey, West Palm.
Hey, didn't that coward that shot Ashley Babbitt through a door get a promotion, and then he and his family got a one of those child care centers?
The child care center thing, I would say, is unconfirmed, okay? I know where the original report came from. It's not been reported by any mainstream, even conservative outlet, so I'm not sure about the daycare. But he did get promoted to captain. And he got a pardon by Biden. It's auto pen.
Yeah. And the same left that did that are going to try to destroy this poor ICE guy for doing his job.
The ICE guy on Friday, ICE agents swarmed the agent's house. His family are at an undisclosed location. They're in hiding because their lives are in danger right now, and it's really rough.
Yeah, sure. It's sad world.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the world wherever there's Democrats.
The final chapter hasn't been written yet. Not to worry.
Mm-hmm. We're winning.
Yeah. I hope so. I believe it too.
That's where you're gonna have faith.
Yep, I have faith.
Well, that's awesome.
Thank the Lord.
Well, welcome to the program.
We got Trump.
All right, take care.
Yep,
Appreciate the call. All right. You want to take another call, Steve? What do you want to do?
Sure.
All right, let's take another one, then we got a break, okay? Hold on. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Jay from Jersey. You know, it's very rarely that I get really pissed at you, because I stay pissed at you because I think you're an idiot. But this morning, I just heard something that really pissed me off about you. You say you're a Christian and that you believe in God. You're a liar. You're a big, big liar, and you need to stop. God sees exactly what you do.
Oh, you know God? You have a pipeline to God?
Yeah, I do have a pipeline to God.
Do you have anything new? Do you have anything new to offer?
You probably know him personally. You probably know him
Do you
personally.
have anything new to offer? Going once.
Yes, I do.
Is this
now this morning?
MTS, nothing to say.
Well, why don't you let me say it?
Nothing to say. You have nothing to say.
Let me say it.
You're babbling like a brook.
Say it. Okay, well, let me say it.
Say it.
This morning. Brian, you said this morning that guy got
wait, you were talking to me. You were talking to me. Why did you switch with you? Yeah, we were. That's what you said.
Brian's the one I said I was pissed at.
Oh, well, you can't answer my questions?
Oh, what was your question? I'm sorry, I must have missed it. Go ahead, what was it?
If you don't know what your own question was, I'm not going to waste my time with you. Get off the phone, creep.
Yeah, okay. I had my finger on the hang-up button for like 5 minutes. I was ready to go.
Yeah, so you got the feel of it.
Oh, my goodness. I love how he's acting like he's not usually angry. He's usually like a big fan, you know. It's just today he's angry. Give me a break. He's always angry. I want to talk about Sloman's Home Security, this incredible offer they have of a free home security system with free professional installation, as well as 24/7 central station monitoring. You get all that for just $24.95 a month, and you're locked in for 5 years at $24.95 a month. What a great deal. That's right. It's a free home security system and professional installation, absolutely free. Your Sloman's Home Security system includes a touchscreen keypad, 3 door or window sensors, a motion detector, notifications, and remote keypad access. Wow, it's a great deal. Take advantage. Call them no matter where you're located. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. We'll be right back. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. Hold on. Hey. Haku. The cat. On the line, we have Lewis. He had some issues with some taxes in past years, and he called Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax, and Jamie took good care of him. Lewis, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. So tell me how Jamie from Swift Tax helped you on your taxes.
I was having trouble with another company. I called Jamie, and the next day I brought my wife in there with all the paperwork, and he straightened all my back taxes out, and I'm actually getting money back now.
Wow, this is pretty amazing. So this other company you went to told you owed the government money, and Jamie over at Swift Tax took a look and found out that not only did you not owe money, you're getting money back from the government?
Yes, I got nice big checks coming soon.
Do what Lewis did. Call Jamie LeeZep over at Swift Tax. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587.
All right, Steve, you there?
I'm here.
We got 1 minute.
Well, are you here?
Hold on, Steve.
Hello?
We got less than a minute, so hold on.
Just be here.
Okay, stand by.
Okay.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. You know, when we hear liberal, see, people don't understand. When liberals are winning, they're not angry. They're laughing at us, right? And when you hear just like these demonstrators in Minneapolis, the liberals we're hearing from on the phone, Steve, are pretty ticked off. You know, they're not in the laughing mood. When we're losing, they're laughing at us, and you can tell that they feel like they're losing. You know, these protests that are going on. It looks like Trump's decided we're taking Greenland.
None of this makes you anxious?
About what?
About how it's going to affect the American voters in the midterms?
Oh, we're gonna win. Things are going so well, and the Democrats are acting like lunatics.
I can see where you could say that, but I mean, I'm just nervous. I don't know what to say.
I'm not.
These people are out of their minds, and they're organized, they're professional. I don't think enough attention is being given to that. The Soros factor. And they're well financed. That's a bad combination. And I just hope that the American, again, it's all up to the American public. If we can maintain our cool and not fall for their line of BS, he'll be fine. But it's going to take a couple of polls before I'm not nervous.
Oh no, I think we're doing well.
Have you seen any polls?
I've not seen it. No, and I've not seen any polls over the weekend or anything. No, which tells me that we're doing well.
There should be a bunch out today.
Maybe, but I haven't seen any yet. If there were bad polls, believe me, the media would share them.
You think?
I know. Yeah, they hate Trump. Yeah, so maybe if they're not showing the polls, that means we're doing well. You know, the thing about these, you worry about the elections, and the things that Trump is doing are so popular. One, the liberation of Venezuela, the Hispanic vote is now forever his. I mean, they've lost so much support from the Hispanic community that they're not going to get back. Okay, that's a big one. But what's going on with Greenland, what's going on with Iran, all this is happening because of Trump. You know, Iran's about ready to collapse, the Islamic Republic. By the time we go
that's for sure.
By the time we go on our cruise, we leave March 22nd, Iran could be a free country again. And President Trump said on Air Force One last night that they're talking to Cuba. And believe me, Marco Rubio, who's a Cuban American, and his dad and his mom are from Cuba, any negotiation between Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Cuba involved nothing other than the communists no longer being in power, freeing Cuba. So, I mean, we've got this year, Steve, there's so much happening that's so positive. And by the way, we're all getting our $2,000 each bonus over the summer from President Trump, from the tariff profit sharing. That's another thing, too. But if Iran falls, if Cuba falls, these are very positive things.
Well, Iran's going to fall. Iran is on the verge of falling right now.
Mm-hmm.
Iran's going to fall any day.
Hopefully. I hope. This is, when President Trump is reinstating the internet with Elon Musk, right, with the Starlink, so they can communicate.
Right, then.
Yeah.
Well, that'll help.
Well, when I've been watching the videos out of Iran, there have never been uprisings like this in Iran. And the government's reaction was insane. They went out and started murdering people. They've killed about 600, it's being reported, a little less than 600. Very, very, very stupid, because President Trump told them not to do that, or he would respond. And last night he was talking about a strike on Iran over this. And once they
you think that'll happen today?
It could. And when they get the Starlink internet from Elon Musk, the protesters, and they see, because they're blocked out right now pretty much, because Iran shuts down the internet. When they see how much support they have around the world, including that of the President of the United States, that's going to help the protest grow even more. It really is.
You think it's going to turn these current rulers of Iran around when they see how popular Trump is?
I saw a video out of Iran over the weekend. It was in one of those cities where the people have taken over. The women started a bonfire and were burning their hijabs and a bonfire. And then there was I saw another video, this Iranian girl, she took out a picture of the Ayatollah, right? She put a cigarette in her mouth, lit the picture of the Ayatollah on fire, and lit the cigarette with the picture of the Ayatollah, and filmed it. So the protesters, it's not just that they're rising up; they're doing things in public they've never done before. It's gone to a whole new level. You get your head cut off in Iran for doing these things, and they're doing them. So if Iran, we liberated Venezuela, President Trump's liberating Iran by giving them the courage to rise up, and the demonstrations are growing. These are all great things.
How do you feel about the Republicans that deserted Trump over the weekend? The ones that voted against his actions.
It's not good, but
I mean, 17.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Republicans.
Yeah, I know. Snakes.
Well, yeah, but it's not going to make things easier. It's going to make things tougher.
Yeah. Well, let's see how tough they are when we get close to Election Day. That was not a smart move. All right. Well, let's take a call or two, and then we'll got so much to share. Oh no, we're not taking that call. If you're on hold, hang in there. These things that are happening, are on a scale that are just, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's really on a massive, Iran falling, Cuba falling, Maduro falling. The press, because they're covering these riots, they're not really showing you what's happening in their proper perspective. And the thing about Cuba, I know things are about to go bad in Cuba for the communists, because CNN has a bureau in Havana. I haven't seen one single story out of Havana since Maduro was removed. And CNN is there. And the European press and the Canadians are in Cuba. There's been no reporting on the situation without the oil coming for weeks now. Not one story, which tells me they're on the verge of collapse. As the president talked about yesterday, that they're desperate, that they're talking to them. And there's just too many good things. I know they want to try to convince you, well, the party in power always loses the midterms. We have not had a president in a second non-consecutive term in any of our lifetimes. It hasn't happened since the 1800s. This is a unique president and a unique situation we've never encountered before. So the old rules and analysis just aren't relevant with Trump, Steve. It's a whole new thing, and you've got these pundits that are doing analysis based on out-of-date things. All right, we got a little time. I'm gonna put one or two calls through before we break. All right, for the Gold Report.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Charlie from Palm City, Florida.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, I had to call because I just read that Casey Anthony has rose her head up from the grave, and she is calling Trump out. Casey Anthony.
Casey Anthony. I remember Casey Anthony is the woman who was acquitted of murdering her daughter years ago here in Florida. When Trump was in his first term, one of the first protests at Mar-a-Lago by the Democrats was covered on the local news in Palm Beach. Casey Anthony was there. I couldn't believe it, and it didn't make the national news because they didn't want people to know the type of person that was protesting President Trump. I hope Casey Anthony is very vocal and gets a lot of media attention for her opposition to President Trump. I think that would be wonderful.
Well, she's on the social.
Yeah, well,
she's on the social media feed.
Oh, awesome!
The other
that's
thing
great. I hope they put her on Fox and CNN and MSN Now and everything. Get her on Newsmax. Let's have Casey Anthony on everything all day, like Michael Avenatti used to be, telling us how bad Casey Anthony thinks Trump is. That's beautiful. That's great.
Well, I also wanted to make one other point. I called up Google and asked who protects Greenland. Well, we have a space force there. We have military there. And Denmark is the guys that take care of it, but they're so far away. So I'd like to see Trump talk about a territory.
Well, the thing about this is what I was talking about earlier. I found out over the weekend I did not realize Greenland is a part of North America. I had no idea. I figured it was part of I didn't realize that. And because it is part of North America, the president who just cited the Monroe Doctrine to remove Maduro, the Monroe Doctrine says no foreign interference or colonies in the Western Hemisphere. And if Greenland is part of North America, that's the Western Hemisphere. Denmark is in violation of the Monroe Doctrine.
Yep. I heard you talk about that too. Mm-hmm. So, hey, we got a quorum.
That's right. All right. Appreciate the call. All right. We got to run. Guys, no more. This will be the last year that you make a New Year's resolution to lose weight, because when you call Coastal Weight Loss Secret, you're going to lose that weight this year. I did it, and you can too. And not only will you lose it, I've kept it off. You'll be able to keep it off too, because with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, there's no big lifestyle changes to lose the weight. And also, I want to tell you, there are no pills, no injections, no surgery. A lot of people ask me about pills and injections. There's none of that. And I haven't gained back a single ounce. Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you lose weight no matter where you are located. Give them a call and schedule your no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightloss.secret.com. We'll be back with the Gold Report. All right, Steve, I'm going to put you on hold and get William Youngerman.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hey there. We have 1 minute, less than a minute. So
Okay.
I'm going to conference Steve in. All right, Steve, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, got both of you. Okay, we have less than a minute, so stand by.
Okay.
Thirty seconds. 30 seconds. All right, we're back, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals starting the week off?
Starting out the week very excitingly, right? We have broken through the resistance area on silver and gold, and we are shooting higher this morning as stops are being run by people who were short, and the market has finally broken out of this trading range that we've been in for quite a while, actually. Building a strong base for gold around that $4,500 number and silver around close to the $80 number. Well, we are well ahead of those numbers this morning. Last week, we saw gold close out the week at $4,508 on Friday. That was up $30.80. Silver closed out the week up $2.02 on Friday at $79.85. Platinum was down $6 at $22.61. And palladium was up $32 at $18.02. Well, when the markets broke through that $4,550 resistance area this morning after trading as low as $4,508, gold ran all the way up to $4,615 the ounce. And right now we're at $4,609. That's up $100.20 right now.
Wow.
Whoa. Through that. Yeah, 85.
William, we lost you there. We lost you there for a second, so we lost you after the gold. Can you go back and start with the silver?
Yeah, breaking through the $80 number this overnight is now at $85.10 the ounce. That's up $5.26.
Wait a minute. Was that silver?
That's silver.
Oh my goodness.
$5.26 at $85.10 the ounce.
Wow.
Platinum is up $101 at $23.61, and palladium up $53 at $1,855 the ounce. So all of the metals are rallying, breaking out of their trading ranges, and if these gains hold today and close solidly above those resistance areas, we could be heading for $5,000 gold real soon and $100 silver.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Listen, give William Youngerman a call, and he opens up at 10 a.m. And remember, no matter where you are located, with William Youngerman, you can do all of your transactions over the phone and through the mail if you can't make it into his shop in Boca. And all the metals are available for immediate delivery with William Youngerman. His number is 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. His address in Boca is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can find both his phone number and address on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take care. That's crazy, Steve. Over $85 an ounce on silver.
Unbelievable.
I know. I'm in shock. You know, another thing that's going on in the news today is President Trump with this criminal probe against the Fed chairman, Jerome Powell.
Yes.
And this guy, I don't know if he's a criminal or just incompetent, but when Trump went through that Fed building construction, it made the guy look like a dope, and he's in charge of like the economy, you know. And
what's the update on that?
There's no update. He's calling for a criminal probe of the Fed chairman that he's about to replace. I'm starting to wonder, you know, President Trump, in a way, maybe I'm wrong about this, but in a way, he's taking a page out of the liberal playbook. he's really creating a lot of chaos, right? The Fed probe, the
sure.
criminal probe with the Fed chairman, Venezuela, Cuba, Greenland, Iran, ICE, deportation. There's so much going on that the opposition can't focus in on anything.
It's true, but then you get it again. It's so dramatic that it's difficult to know how people are going to react.
Oh, I think they love it, like we do.
Well, I think the people that are like us react like we do, but I think there are a whole bunch of other people out there that have been listening to this crap they've been throwing at the president.
Yes.
And especially, with the no more kings and all this kind of stuff. And the new narrative that the bad guys are using plays right into that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this thing, he's going to take over, he's going to be a dictator and all that. All that plays into the idea of taking over a country a day. I'm just not. I always have faith in Trump. It's the American people that I waver on a little bit every now and then.
Yeah.
Nothing a couple good polls won't cure, but it's nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's take another call or two while you're racking the nerves. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. How are you? I
Brian, how are
talk
you?
about the medals, but I'm really good. The 2 points, this strike on Venezuela, the two key points that I get from this, the tactical brilliance of this. One is oil, and two is information. Now, Cuba will fall just on the core. They have no energy. There's no energy in Cuba. They're in big trouble. China's going to be crippled. But the amount of information that I think Delta took out from the Maduro files there, not a lot of talk about that, but I think we have a tremendous point of leverage now with a lot of people, including people inside this country who have been working against us, that we have that information coming out of the Maduro report. And I think that's going to involve senators and congressmen and a whole bunch of people. So this tactical move was really a brilliant strike, brilliant strike. And, who knows what type of information, who knows what's going to be coming out of all this shortly down the road,
And this thing with Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, and if you notice, all the stories about it show all the money that he spent on this building job, and no work's been done except tearing it up.
That's right. And it's what, $4 billion?
Yeah, so there's no way people weren't getting paid on the side for that job.
I think it's just another way to make the money disappear.
It's another Leering center, another child care center.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is a $4 billion rehab on a building. How much would a new building cost? What, $20 billion? This is insane.
Yeah.
I think, I make a little prediction. I think Jerome Powell will be gone, but I think the Federal Reserve is going to be gone too. But that's something else.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I think you'd be surprised what you're going to see. But with the tactical move, getting that information, and Maduro is like a clearinghouse. So all this information, all the people he dealt with, the druggies, the Chinese, the Russia, everybody. Now we got it.
Well, and we have him and his wife. Was a real power broker there, okay? And a lot of the senior government jobs were family members of hers. So what they have is they have their personal contacts.
Right.
So they have their banking information, they have the phone numbers.
Oh boy.
So they
follow follow the money, the banking information we have out of there.
For the car,
that's going to be a who's of everybody.
That's correct.
Of everybody.
And how the cartels do their.
People are very nervous.
Yeah, and the cartels. We got a lot of information on the cartel. I'm sure it was a fountain of intelligence.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why maybe they were waiting just for the right time to strike when all this information would be available too?
Yeah.
They've been monitoring everything. It was a brilliant military move. Brilliant. This sonic weapon. I mean, what the heck was that? 20 Delta Force guys went in and took down 300 the Cuban.
I know, it's like
guys.
Super soldiers.
It's amazing.
But it's what the thing when this first happened in Venezuela, I was and now we're seeing that I was right, that our military we're in 2026 and China and Russia they're back in the 90s technologically compared to us. That's
right.
We're 30 to 50 years ahead of them technologically with our military.
This is stunning. I did not think we were that far ahead, but that is stunning, and I think you're right on target, Brian.
And they didn't realize it. I don't think they realized it.
Yeah. I think Taiwan's a little bit safer today too, knowing that China knows that we got some real firepower. So,
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate the call.
Fascinating times.
All right, take
care.
You're
welcome, Brian.
Take care. Oh my goodness, Steve, the phones are they're ringing off the hook. All right, do I got you back, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay, now I wanted to, the next big holiday is Valentine's Day, and I've been talking last week. You heard me talk a lot about people in our audience who went to Life Imaging FLA for the heart scan, and they had the cancer scan too, and of people that found out that they had more than 80% blockage in their arteries, or found out they had some type of cancer. So then they take that scan, they go to their doctor. They had people with no symptoms, and they can take care of things before they have that heart attack, before the cancer spreads and grows. And I was just thinking this morning, Valentine's Day, give the gift of life. I'm going to give you the number in a moment to Life Imaging FLA, all right? Set up the appointment for your loved one. A lot of couples go in there and both get the scan, okay? Set the appointment up for your loved ones. They have locations in Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach County. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with just a few minimum requirements, valued at $699. When you're there, please make sure to ask about the cancer screening too. From your cell, call pound 250 and say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you'll be connected in seconds. That's Life Imaging FLA. All right. Are you there?
Yes. Good morning, Joe.
All right. Hold on. All right. Steve, do I got you back?
Yes,
okay.
I think so.
Okay, great. I'm going to go to the phone. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Greg. Brian, let's see once again if we could have a conversation. Yay, Steve. See if we could have a conversation without you calling me names, Brian, okay? Let's see if we can actually do that for the first time. But, Steve, I pose this question to you. It sounds like you're hesitant in us going into a sovereign country that poses no threat to us and taking over that country.
Who are you talking about?
Greenland, of course, Greenland. A sovereign country that poses no threat to us. And even sending troops in there to take it over.
They're not a sovereign country. They're not a sovereign country. They're a colony of Denmark.
And I haven't read anything that indicates we're taking it over.
What are you talking
about? Evidently, you have. Hold on, Greg. Evidently, you have an update, and you're privy to more information than I am. Tell me what you learned that we're taking over Greenland. I didn't miss that.
I don't know, Steve. Maybe you've been sleeping for the last 2 weeks. But Trump and other officials said they are national security.
I hear a lot of talk.
Wait, let me finish my statement, Steve. Right. So they've said it. We are going into Greenland and even sending troops if necessary. Have you not heard that?
Last I heard, they are not moving ahead with that. What about the bill that Congress passed?
We have 60 seconds.
So Brian, are you in favor of taking over Greenland?
Yes.
Why?
Because the president said that it's necessary for security. China, he said, is already operating there. If it's U.S. soil, they'll stop.
Operating there? They're actually on the ground operating.
The president said they're already operating there. They're already there.
Oh, so because because Trump says it, you automatically agree with it. Give me evidence. Give me some substantial.
All I have is the good word of the president of the United States.
Oh, because you don't do any research. You just don't do any due diligence.
No, that's not it. He's just got more faith. He's got more faith in the president than you have. That's all.
No,
he doesn't trust you. I agree with him.
That's right. You'll agree with anything. So you guys you're not even slightly objective. Whatever he says is the law of the land. You don't disagree with him at all. I know you do behind his back. I know you do.
No, we don't.
In public, you do not.
No. How do you know what we do behind our back? Were you in our private homes?
Because you know what? You even said you sometimes disagree with Trump.
I never said that.
But
I never said that. You are a damn liar.
You're lying once again.
You are a liar.
I have never said
I'm
that.
a liar.
Yes,
Now
you're a liar.
including
Yes, I called
Trump.
you a name because you lied. I've never said that.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Nose as long as a telephone wire. Right, that's the rest.
There you go.
See you tomorrow, 6 a.m.
Take care.
All right, I'll call you later, Steve.
Okay.
All right, take care. Oh, my goodness. All right, hey, listen, thanks, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, please do me a favor. Please like the video. And if you could take the link of today's show and share it on your socials for your friends and invite your friends to check out the show, that would be spectacular. It helps the show a lot. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I got a meeting, so I got to run. But I'll see you guys later. Take care. Thanks for watching.